Welcome to the Ultimate Fancast, where fans are the star of the show. Each week we explore the epic co-created Battle Bunnies franchise from legendary artists Frank and Krista Lenatra and the team at Junkbox Studios. Ultimate fans join BBS, Lord L, and Brian as they dive deep into the extraordinary world of the Battle Bunnies. Plus, we'll be your guides and take you backstage with the creators and actors who are captivating family audiences worldwide. Are you ready to meet this week's Ultimate Fan? It's time to fan up and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Ultimate Fancast. This week, we have a beloved Fluffle member. This member has gone above and beyond, you could say, with bringing us all together even more in a different space. And with a game that not everybody likes to play, but sometimes that doesn't even matter, because as long as you show up and you are engaging, you're going to win something. So this beloved Fluffle member, him and I go back, way back. And when I think of, trust and friendship, this is the first person that I think of. He's a founder. He appreciates us and the Fluffle. Here's Aaron Farve. Come to the stage, please.
Yay! Woohoo! Nice job.
What's up, guys? What's up? Thank you, BBS.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm so humbled, man. Thank you. That was awesome.
Very nice. We have to address the elephant in the room. Who is that behind you?
Yeah, who is that?
You got a pretty sick background going on right there.
Yeah, I'm right in the way of it. I got to try to scoot you over. Yeah, that is actually a little sneak preview for the Winter Bash coming up. So it's
nice.
it's a banner of the characters that's going to be there. So it's not an actual character or an NFT. It's one of the characters though. So
very cool. Very cool. See, we're getting some alpha already. We're getting some alpha already with DPS.
Alpha, second in.
That's it. You like it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
It's all about heroes versus villains. So this is one of the villains, obviously. So in the collection is going to be villains are going to outweigh the heroes. We'll delve into all that later, but it's going to be heroes versus villains.
Very cool. No, that's very cool. Yeah, he definitely looks villainous.
Yeah, love the background too. Like the art's great, but the background.
Thank you.
I think everyone gives Frankenstein a bad rap. Bad, right?
I know he's actually not the bad
He can
guy.
be good too, just because he looks like he's a. No, he's a good guy, man. Look at him.
No, in the story,
He's such a humble giant.
Yeah, it's Frankenstein's monster, right? That's where everybody always gets the misconception, right? Frankenstein is the doctor that made this guy, so he's actually just scraps, right? So Frankenstein's doctor is the bad guy, actually, but semantics, right?
Semantics.
Yeah. But man, look, to be honest, man, I'm super honored to have you up on this, man. Like, obviously, you are an Ultimate fan, like the rest of us, and you definitely show it in different ways. And I definitely know you being one of the top holders. I don't know if Clopping's beating you in every section, but
no, just series one. Series
being that
number one.
You're so financially invested in the bunnies, non-financial,
He's rugging on us.
Yeah,
I think he's just really interested in what he's saying.
Me?
Yep.
Oh,
yes, you.
Yeah.
No worries, we can cut it out. It's no big deal.
But I didn't hear your question, Modell. What was your question, brother?
Yeah, what was the question? It's like, I'm just done. I'm out of here.
Just frozen.
Luke, come back.
Come back. Don't leave us.
I'm not. Am I back now?
Yeah.
Back now. Yes.
Okay. Okay. This should be. All right. Okay, sweet. I didn't know if you were frozen again. Okay, starting on. Wait 5 seconds.
Don't worry.
For the editing,
We're gonna edit this out, so it's all good.
I love you guys, man.
I love this.
You're rugged at the same time as I have a shitty connection, so for me it's just a big old. It's my fault, though. But go ahead, brother, if we can.
All right, man. So like I was saying, being that you're such a heavy holder of the Battle Bunnies, and that to me, you're a whale in this industry. And in Web3, like whales, don't just dive into any random project. And it's like, for someone like me on the outside looking in, not having enough to whale into something that I would whale into, it reassures me and it shows me that there's something else going on. So it's like, what do you see in the project, and like, how is it like the bunnies that have made you so comfortable to, like, non-financial, obviously, and it's a sticky question because it's about money, but it's like, that to me is crazy. Like, how is that to you? Like, what are you in it for the art? Like, what was the first thing that struck you with this?
Yeah, it's funny. The art, I would say, first and foremost, if I'm going way back, pre-Fluffle, meaning, before I even knew what the Fluffle was or the founders or anything like that, the art for this project, as well as Bored to Death when it happened, caught me on, two different extremes, right? One's the cutest of all, and the other was the center side of it, right? But those pieces both caught me, and then I stumbled into, because of Carcaeus, the trifecta space at the time. So there was that, and then that first space that I got into there, I had already had some background info from Spider hitting me up, like I was talking to you guys about, and telling me, hey, you got to check this out, you got to check that out, because back in the OG Beatheads days, as we called it, that cruise, Spider was in there, and he was going, die hard Battle Bunnies right off the bat, like showing me the art and showing me all these, what I did not know at the time were Spartans, and he kept showing me like, dude, this is a great price. And at the time they were like, $300, So it was after the boom and when people started selling them early on, right in that early moment. And there was a few of them that were up there cheap. And I, at the time, thought, well, that's expensive, because I didn't know anything coming from, the decentralized, from centralized to decentralized. I was safe over there on CDC. Everything we did was protected. You have to verify, 80 bits of information to get into the platform and all this. So this world was a scary world. So Spider's like, buy this, it's great, and I'm like, I'm hesitant, which I fully always regret, you know what I mean? But anyway, I did pay enough attention to kind of like look into it. And I looked into the art, and I love the art, but at the same time, I'm on OpenSea, and I'm like, how do I know if this one's real, or if the next one's real, or if the next one's real? What if I buy the wrong one? So I never pulled the trigger, because at the time I was naive enough. I didn't even know, when I saw a collection of 100 bunnies, let's say, right? I didn't realize that was all one collection. In my mind, it was like a shelf at the store. It could have been one brand and another brand and another brand for all I knew. So I didn't buy anything because I didn't know how to know which was the right one to buy, and that's my first introduction. And then I jumped into space because I was like, well, I love the art. Spider's interested. Let me see what's going on. Excuse me. So I jumped in one of those trifecta spaces. It's actually where I first heard you too, Lord L, was in one of those spaces, and you were repping Bored to Death Club, and got me all excited, man, about the Sinner's Mint and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But from that space on, I guess that very first space, believe it or not, there was this sense of, the art was enjoyable, and I'd already kind of started learning enough at this point that I knew what I was looking for in projects, right? But there was this sort of sense of home, for lack of a better word, that I felt within that community, So like right away, I was welcomed on the microphone. I was able to ask questions, got answers. I was, you were over there. I was going goofy over there in Bored to Death Club. I was in that pit trying to get that death list, I think it was called at the time, you know what I mean? So I could do all that. And I got all crazy and delved into that. That set me back about another month. But when all that calmed down and everything was finally over, in between that time, Disco had come to me, and also done the same thing. He's like, hey man, I'm not having any fun where we are isn't growing the way we thought. What do you recommend? What's going on? What else are you into? And I said, well, I'm over here in this freaking pit 24 hours a day in Sinners. I was like, but their mint's coming up. I don't know anything about Dead Boys enough to tell them, but I was like, check the art out. If you love it, like it's sick. Right. And then I said, also, check these bunnies out, man. I said, this stuff's really awesome. And then I told him about Spider and everything Spider told me. And I said, go check those bunnies out. And in fact, if you don't mind, let me know, what you find, because we were on the hunt, man. We were trying to, I'd spent too much money in other projects, not knowing what I was doing. So at this point, we're doing our homework, and he's out there, he's delving in. He somehow right away got in with Frank and Krista again, because it's like a family and everybody's just so damn welcoming, So he comes over here just to check everything out. Next thing you know, within a few hours, man, he's like, oh, dude, they've got a book, they've got that, it's just unloading like a truckload of shit, I'm like, wait, whoa, what? Because where we were sort of had some of these things, and that's kind of already what we were looking for, right? So his excitement level just went off the charts right away. I mean, he's like, dude, you wanted this, they have it. You wanted that, they have it, so forth and so on. And so I was like, all right. But he kept, I was still, again, in that pit trying to get that, that's where my mind was at that moment. So I was like, all right. And he's telling me about Ultimate Heroes now, at this point, right? And so I'm like, yeah, I'll go get one. He was like, no, man, you don't understand. There's only so many, and you got to get one, and you're gonna get in the story, and you're gonna get a name in there, and you're gonna just all this information, you know what I mean? Just and so I was like, I was excited. I didn't know what the hell to do, So I couldn't now at this point tell you what my first dive in was, like my first actual. Yeah, I think it was the Ghost Bunnies, where I kind of just minted a couple. Still, again, at this point, not knowing enough and thinking they were just novelty. I think I minted like 2 or 3. And then all of a sudden, I realized what was going on. I started talking to Disco. I got into the drink and draw. I started listening to Frank and Krista again, just immediately very welcoming. You know what I mean? And at this time, that was right when DPS is, also, coming, being born. You know what I mean? And so I'm getting to know them. I'm working hard in the background building. I mean, DPS launched overnight to everybody in December, but I was actually building and crunching numbers and trying to figure this stuff out. Some close to me know months before that. There was a point where I was actually going to try to use my Beatheads characters. That's why I had 120 of these things to try to facilitate some way to let those be the poker entry, right? Because now this is all just before mid-journey, So at this point, I have nobody to make art. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I want to do a poker project, and I got to how am I going to get a point of entry, so forth and so on. So I'm focusing everywhere else, right? But I keep bunnies in the background, you know what I mean? And as we launched, and I was in another trifecta space again. This is fast forwarding probably only a week or two, from where I started, talking to them in the drink and draws and everything. All of a sudden, I was just like, hey, we're launching this project. Here it is. This is what's going on. Blah blah blah. And like Frank and Krista without beat, and so all of you, like I think you too, Lordell, a lot of you just immediately jumped onto OpenSea. This guy's saying this, let's go do it, and everybody jumped in with me, man. And it was very humbling, because we started off with 54. That's why it's DPS Club 54, right? A deck of cards was all I had the ambition for. I was so scared to even launch a project as a founder, but I wanted to play poker and I wanted to build something that I knew the space needed or could use, And so immediately I was just like, okay, let's do it. And then that time in that space, when everybody did that, we minted out, I think, those 54 in like 3 hours. From the time I went to that space, and then I hit 2 other spaces that were like the Crow Fam, as they call themselves, I hit 2 other spaces within that evening, and we were sold out within 3 hours. And then so this is where the kind of real introduction to the Fluffle Fam starts, right? So from that same space, from the trifecta space, my first introduction to Dave was him jumping over, telling me, "Hey, man, we got a guy that can build the Discord for you." Because I was in the space talking about I didn't have a Discord yet. I just got a Twitter account set up overnight. The day before. I was like, we probably don't even need a Discord, man. But we'll build one if we do. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I said that, right? But all of a sudden, Dave hits me up on a DM, and he's like, "Hey, we got this guy. He can build a Discord for you. Let me know if you need some help." And I whatever. I didn't know anything, so I jumped over here to the Battle Bunnies to talk to him about that, and that was it. From that day forward, man, it was like Dave was in my corner, Krista and Frank were in my corner, like Breaky, which now I know, he was the one that had built it for me. So when I said yes to it, I had never met this kid. Breaky's amazing, by the way. And overnight, he had the Discord ready for me. He's hitting me up. He's like, "Okay, what do you want? What channels do you want?" And I'm telling him, like, "Dude, I don't know. What do you make? What does Discord normally have?" Like, I had no clue, right? Of nothing. And so he set it up for me with some basics. I even hit BBS up because at this point, I think you had your first Discord, right? And so you were doing your thing.
Yeah, I did.
And so I hit him up and I'm like, "Hey, trying to figure this thing out, right?" And so a couple days passed, and again, I didn't know anything about Breaky at this time. I had no idea he was a young kid. I had no idea he was in school. All I knew is I was getting swarmed with a lot of people and a lot of questions, and I needed to know what to do. And I'm tagging Breaky, and I can't get no help. So finally, Dave's like, "Hey, he's like in school." And I'm like, "Oh shit, well, this is broken and that's broken, and people need this, and what do I do, and how do I do that?" And just this avalanche of like, "Oh my gosh, what did I do?" And Krista, man, she came to my rescue. You know, she kind of stepped in and she helped me facilitate. If this, as weird as it sounds, right, like getting my Discord back, right? Because I didn't own it, I had no control over it. A lot of things I wanted to do, I couldn't do, and I didn't know how to do. So she talked to Bree, got everything set up, got me the Discord, showed me how to set it up, and then
wait, Aaron, you're taking the fun out of it, bro. Because you
want me to shut up?
So you're answering all my questions. I'm like,
no, I think let him go. We'll get our questions, and I just let you go, man.
We'll
do your thing.
In post production, Luke. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna come in and slide in your question. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Think about
You got to shut me up. Just do what you did. Just stop me in motion, brother.
No, man, you do you.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. No, you're a storyteller, so we like that. Yeah.
Well, that's what got me. You know, that's what got me in. You know, what I call my family. You know, what happened, Lordell? You rugged out again, brother.
Oh no, I was like this the whole time too. I was like, just so in tune. Every time you talk, man, I listen because I love it, bro. You're the best storyteller, but you're also like, you hit it on the head every single time. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
oh, thank you.
No, but seriously, you know, I've only been on the team with the Bunnies for even like the last 2 or 3 weeks. So before then, you know, I was just a community member, just like everyone else. You know, like we all are. We're still, you know, just community members. And you know, I know from the day one when you came, you know, the whole space lived up a lot more too. You know, and you know, we took you in with open arms straight away because when you came over, you know, you were so excited about the art, and you know, to me that resonated so much, obviously, because I'm about the art, you know. But the fact is, you know, you hold say 100 of these things, but you still like appreciate every single one. It feels like, you know, you'll be flipping this one out, and you'll be like, check this out, and you'll be rolling with this one, and you'll be doing, you know. So it's like, you know, I'm not putting you on the spot now for guess your bunny, but you know, like your excitement of the art when, you know, and the one of ones, and you know, to me, looking up, I inspired to have some of those one of ones eventually one day, and you know, I'm glad there's people like you around that have the opportunity now to get one, so then we get to see them. So it's like having that art in that aspect, and like to me, that's just how much of an ultimate fan. You know, I'm an ultimate fan of the Bunnies, and man, I'm an ultimate fan of you. We all are. Like, you know, we are puzzle pieces, but BBS, you know, and it's like, you know, when you because you just came in a swarm to the Bunnies, you know what I'm saying? So it was like there was a load of yous that came over, and
we
you know, just having you in the community, right? And you know,
well, that was the thing,
I mean,
man. We all had a family already, you know, within another project. You know, there was a project we were all in. I don't want to drop names, you know, and I don't know if I guess we could edit it, but whatever. But, you know, we were all like already sort of, the community sort of, okay, so we had this IRL event. We all got together and we all met each other in real life. And then we came back and there was sort of like this change in the project itself, you know, like it had a roadmap. It was completing, you know what I mean? And it was like this, right? And we were all, you know, like this. We had just met in real life. We were super excited. We'd seen Aloe Black in you know, what would, you know, translate into a private concert. There was all this great stuff going on. And all of a sudden the project, you know, revealed that its goal was sort of like this, right? A to Z and being done. And maybe more later, but that was sort of not what we were all thinking, you know, collectively. So we kind of had this, you know, internal community that was the project itself, if that makes sense. Like the project wasn't doing much more without all of us. So all of us kind of organically became this project, but needed something, right? You know, because it didn't offer what we convinced ourselves we were getting into wasn't available. And so literally everything about the Battle Bunnies filled those voids, like everything. The book, the concept of the amusement park and everything afterwards, just the merch, mainly even just being a part of the project, right? Because like I said, we were all already over there.
The transparent.
Yeah, and it just gave us everything we didn't have. And so that's why I was always from day one, like I said, this is just my home, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I love is like there's a big vision here. Like it's, you know, it's not just the art, it's not just the books, it's bigger. Like, right. We're having the TCG launch in Richmond, and from there there's going to be tournaments, and you know, eventually, like you said, maybe an amusement park, a movie,
Yeah.
like in real life, you know, events and that kind of stuff. And like, that's all grown out of just the community's desire to see this thing grow. I mean,
Right.
we're here because we're a community, and we want to support the community by recognizing ultimate fans like you, and you know, others each week, you know, bring on new people, let them tell their stories, like,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing. Cause, you know, that's like, we're going to look back in years and we'll be like, oh man, like, remember 2 years ago when we talked to Aaron that first time, and,
Right.
you know, Luke was rugging out the whole time. And no.
But this is awesome that you guys are doing this too,
We're
though.
all
'Cause
going to
it's
be here.
really, you know, it's needed, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
PBS.
Yeah, it's needed. You know, we're all going to be here in that time. And to your point, you know, like we were already prepping in that other project for things that we wanted, and it was kind of like the Battle Bunnies were like a glove, right? So you just step in that glove and you're like, yeah, this fits. This is what I
Exactly.
want. And then what's the best thing about it is I already have a relationship or you know, a friendship with a lot of the people that are over here now, like Mia and, you know, Nikki and Clopping, and you know, it just goes on and on. And when I ever mention names, I always feel like, oh, I'm gonna leave somebody out, and then I'm gonna feel terrible. Disco, like, you know, he's like the scout, right? Like, okay, he comes back and he's like, hey, you got to do this, this, and this, and you know, same thing with me. I don't know if it was with you, Aaron, but like a couple of weeks went by, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. Like you know,
Yeah.
and to your point, it is a lot like when you're in one blockchain and you start there, it is scary because there's not as regulated areas where we were headed. But you know, like the more you use it, another blockchain, the more you use it, the easier it becomes.
Right.
Like, you know, Poly, you know, Poly was like, I don't know how to do that. What's he talking about? I can't do that. And it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing to get into that also.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wish I would have done it in the beginning. I was so afraid of Poly because I was so familiar with ETH, and it's just like steps, right? You go from one to the next to the next, and it's funny you say that too, because now it's like in looking back now and knowing what I know about both. If I had started over in DeFi, I would absolutely think CDC was crazy hard and like, you know, unbelievable with all the 2FA and all the verification and all that shit. I would have been like, that's crazy over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But coming from there first, you come over here. But now it's really there's a lot of ease, you know, as long as you're cautious, right? And don't do stupid things and click bad links and all this stuff. There's a lot of ease on this side of doing things, you know what I mean? And then like you pointed out, Poly is one of the great things for our project, because the amount of NFTs we drop and give away and all that stuff, man, it's pennies, you know what I mean? So it allows a lot of trading to go on. It allows a lot of things to go on. And that's just another learning thing, man. You know, I came into this not knowing all that stuff. And like even Gamer, you're talking about names, and I was going to throw out, you know, Gamer also from that project with us, you know. And the other night in the chat over there in the artist showcase in the Battle Bunnies, he spent a good 2 hours just helping me figure out how to get that money that we won from the community event, you know, so we could play that poker game that we just played the other night, you know, because that money was locked up on some blockchain I'd never heard of. I had no idea how to get it. And he sort of got that, you know, go-getter mentality that he's like, okay, well, look, you just have to do this, this, and that. I'm like, wait, you're talking a different language. I don't know this, this, and that. And he goes, no, look, it's easy. And they had me sharing the screen, and they're like, click this, and him and Clopping both are in there, and you know, oh yeah, just this, this, and that. I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. I'll just pay the 100 myself, whatever. I don't know this, this, and that, you know. And then we just bullshit about whatever else after that. And in the background, you know, the whole time, Gamer's sitting there. This guy went and got him some money on one blockchain, sent it to another blockchain, converted it over to something, also that he could send me like this $3 I needed to go unlock this money so that I could get it done. And sure enough, he got it out. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of the point. Right?
He's a genius, yeah.
It's how all these folks in this community are, right? Like if you need a graphic, you know, Jad or BBS will help you out. You know, if you need some tech stuff, you know, Gamer or Krista or Breaky or any, it's just this way it's always been, you know, and coming from other places where, you know, when you needed something, like I've been in Discords and projects, man, where I just needed an answer to something like I'm supposed to turn something in or, you know, fill out some form so I can, you know, be a part of what's going on. And I'm just like, hey, where's the format? and nobody's answering me. You know, it's like 3-4 days. Hey, you know, what do I do next? You know, and it's like nobody's answering me. Here, it's like you just tell somebody, yeah, you know, I'm working on this thing. Oh, you know what? I got this great software you can use, or I got this great idea. Or you know, people are just so willing to help in the Fluffle, man. It's awesome, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think that comes through, like, you know, like when I first met you, I remember it was the early phases of DPS when you were first starting out, and that's when you came over. And I remember the reason why I gravitated to what you were doing with that, from my perspective, is you were saying exactly this stuff. Oh, this place didn't do this. I've been waiting. You're like, I'm waiting 4 days for this for over there, and then you're like, it was like you had that epiphany in front of me. I'm going to create my own place for us to hang out. And, you know, that's what it was like. So you created DPS for other projects and like for us to hang out, because we're all here. Like you said, you roll in, you slip on like you're like, I don't know, the glove analogy that was just thrown around. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, like, what now? You know what I mean? What now? What else is there? Because we're all here and we're waiting for Krista to do their amazing work. Sorry, language. We're waiting for Frank and Krista to continue to do their awesome stuff. So we're all just in those little downtimes, you know, what you did. And, you know, the fact you working with Frank and Krista so armed and armed within the first, like, you know, I guess the first month or so, what, you smashed it out by yourself and you were killing it. And then, you know, did you think like straight away that you'd be working alongside of them within, you know, like 3 months of literally just rocking up? Like
you know what, I kind of, it's weird to answer. I would say, you know, generically, as in that question, as a broad question, I would say probably no. But, you know, in the interactions with them, I would say 100%. Because there was never a time, like there was so many nights early on that we were just up 2 or 3 in the morning in the chats. We were in shit. I remember one night, I mean, even and they've said it in spaces, right? But even the quest, you know, the coming into the Discord, you know, Chris and I were talking one night, and she was just frustrated with the, you know, which now I've learned because it happens in mine all the time too. But, you know, people coming in, not reading anything, not understanding anything, you know, 100 questions, things that don't pertain, all repetitiveness, you know. And she's like, you know, how can we, you know, get them to understand where to look and what to read and how, you know, what's going on. And I was just like, you know, why don't we just gamify it? And she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, you know, we'll make it like a game and blah, blah, blah. And we just started talking. And for the next 3 hours, we were just talking. And the next morning, she's building the quest. You know what I mean? Boom, just like that. And, you know, she builds it out. And then, you know, I'm over here, not even 2 weeks ago, I'm in Collab Land and something's going on. And we're messing around and we're trying forever to do this thing where, you know, if you have this many roles in Discord, you get, you know, this role. You know, if you get these 2 roles, you get that role. And sure enough, we're sitting there playing around and we figure it out, you know. And so now both our Discord are set up that way. And I know you guys have all seen the achievement bot. Same thing, you know. Yeah, Chris and I just asked, oh, did you see this thing I stumbled onto? I thought you could use it like this, you know. And then I'm like, oh, cool. And so I start using it. And then I turned around. She was talking about, you know, like the rabbit hole is where you can level up in Fluffle, right? But we don't have that. We have our bot that you can ask anything, and a lot of people don't realize you can actually go tell it to play a game, and it'll play trivia games with you. It'll play 20 questions, but a lot of people don't know. So there's no real way to level up, you know. So I took that same concept that Krista had, where she started giving you guys achievements for specific things, and I actually turned that into a game into our Discord. So now for people to level up, in fact, I built a new one earlier today. I was going to launch tonight when people were around. You know, where I just trigger that game, right? You know, by saying, like, so for instance, and I don't want to give it away, but this won't air right away, right? But then this new one is, shall we play a game, right? So once I say that in the Discord, it'll literally trigger the bot to pop up a question. And then once that question pops up, then when somebody gets the right answer, it triggers the next question. And it keeps doing that until you get to the end and you get a winner. And so that allowed a lot of people to be active. And the 2 or 3 times I've tested it out, our Discord absolutely blows up. Like, people just love it and they start playing the game and all that, you know. And that whole concept came from something Krista was doing, you know, to set something up for the roles that she needed. And I was like, hey, you know what I could do with that? And I decided that, you know, and that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like those little things, you know, that don't seem like much really matter when the community's sitting around and we're between poker games, or like BBS alluded to earlier, not everybody's necessarily a poker fan all the time. You just have a little something like that to do. You know, you either go to the rabbit hole, you can play our trivia, you know, we've got other stuff going on, and all that stems from just working together, you know. So yes, to your question, because I know I veered off, but I did think we'd work hand in hand so close together after the interactions I had with them. No, I would not have thought that, just because of their position and how busy they are. I would have never thought they would give so much of their time to everybody. But we all know in hindsight, that's completely different. They, you know, give all their time and more. But yeah, so after those first few interactions, man, I don't think that there's never anything I wouldn't need them for that they wouldn't be there, and vice versa. So
That's great. Hey, so I think the listeners would want to know if you've got any great Frank stories.
ones I can tell, I don't know. I was having that view, like there's gonna be more coming up. Let me think some Frank stories. I don't really know. The Frank stories I would have to tell you would have to be things that we were kind of probably both just kind of remembering over time. Because again, it's a lot of these late nights, when everybody's turning in after the Friday, drink and draw, or after a late night poker game, we'll jump into chat, or early mornings. A lot of times we have coffee together. I don't actually drink coffee; he does, but we'll just shoot the breeze. And so there's been a lot of shenanigans and silliness that comes up in just those interactions. But as far as story, I don't know if it's a story or not, but the one thing that keeps coming to my mind as I'm trying to answer your question is the AI work I've done with him. You know what I mean? And so there's twofold to that, right? Some of the AI work I've done where he's prompted some stuff he's wanted, and I've been able to generate some stuff to give him some inspiration for backgrounds and things that have actually made the collection, which is awesome. I'm always like kind of stoked. It's one of those secret things where I can look at something and go, oh, I had a little, assistance in this background that's, he made. But then the other side is we play around a lot with it, and Krista gave me some pictures of them, while I'm trying to learn the prompts and the new AI and sort of morphing and blending the pictures. And so I have a whole series of pictures I put up in different places, different times. But I've made Frank and Krista into Wonder Woman and Superman, and then I've made Frank into like a guitar player, because he's he plays. I think it's the bass, right? He plays. So I got him playing instruments and like looking like a 70s hippie with all this like psychedelic cool stuff. And because the AI is so good, it's kind of funny in itself. It's not really a funny Frank story, but if I showed you guys all this artwork and Frank and Chris as Wonder Woman and Superman, it's funny. It's hilarious. It looks a lot like them in some and nothing like them in others. But the one that comes to my mind is this one that the Frank character is really, really, super big and super muscles and stuff, and he's got this look where it just looks exactly like Frank. I mean, I'll put it in the Gen chat later, but you see it and you just like Frank laughs so much. He's like, yeah, I wish I looked like that, or I don't know what he said, but it's just so funny because it literally like freaked them out how much it actually came out looking like them. So. But I'll get some good Frank
if you are
stories
listening
after
to this, definitely tag Aaron in Discord.
Yeah. Definitely, because they're
definitely
cool
want to see
together.
those pictures. Yeah, those need to kind of like be sprinkled out into the Gen chat for all to see at some point in time. Like definitely around the time when this episode drops, like we'll let you know in advance.
Okay.
They could come back into the Discord too, just so that just kind of adds to the experience of watching the show. They get to see what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. I'll drop some in there for sure.
When would be a good time to play a game? Like, I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for the game. Are you up for a game?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not going to promise I'm going to do any good, but let's play.
All right. Well, yeah, we're here to have fun. You're a gamer. You do the DraftKings. You got poker. Yeah. I mean, this should be right up your alley, I think.
Okay.
So we'll give it a try. And the name of the game is Name That Bunny. We need like a cool introduction.
Like this, we need some kind of sound effect.
Yeah, that would be cool if we had something like it. But we don't. This is a low budget show.
Okay,
so
this is gonna actually be bunnies that I have to tell you what the name of the bunny is.
Yeah. This first one here. I'll flip to the first one. It's super easy. Like, well, I think it could be super easy. They could be bunnies from the collection. They could be bunnies from the novel. Like it's not, it's something that someone has named in the collection, or it's a name of a character inside the novel. That kind of thing. So first one up. Name that bunny.
Oh, that's King Harold, right?
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. Correct. Yeah. See, this is easy.
Natural.
Easy.
You're natural.
Easy peasy. All right. Name that bunny.
That's mine. That's Cassidy, Hopalong Cassidy. But I changed. I think I
Yeah.
changed the name,
Yes,
or is it still Hopalong Cassidy?
It's Hopalong Cassidy. Yeah, you
Okay,
haven't changed
yeah.
it in the collection. So yeah. See, ding, ding, ding. Like that was
Nice.
easy, right?
Yeah, that's mine.
Yeah.
I recognize her.
Yeah. So, all right, now take your time with this one.
Oh, see, this is where I'm going to fail because these are you're looking for the breed, I guess.
No. The name of this character, like
Oh,
this is a character from the novel. I'll just give you that hint. And it's not Sizemore.
It's not Sizemore, no, because I know Sizemore, right? Is the okay? This is
Sizemore is the main Ridgeback. This is the real this is the light dragon version of Sonya's dragon.
Okay. And now I'm for some reason drawing a blank, even though I got a visual in my head. Man, I'm gonna have to pass on this one. I don't even want to take a guess.
All right. Do you want to ask one of the guys if they can help you out with it? Look at them.
Yeah, looks like he knows.
I bet Luke knows it. Luke knows it.
He does.
Luke,
I do not know.
Yeah, Luke knows it, right? Who knows it? Whoever knows it is who I want to answer.
That's good. That's good.
No, because I was like, oh, hey, that's Mrs. Firefly, and then you're like, it's out of the novel, and I'm like, oh no, that's right, Miss Firefly's not. Miss Firefly's a bunny.
Sonya's dragon. Let me think. Why am I drawing a blank? I feel like I know it, but I don't know why. I'm not sure why I'm not drawing. I'm drawing a blank.
Starts with an M, ends with an O, and there's two more letters.
Moon? Oh, wait.
Starts with an M, ends with an O, and there's two more letters.
That
Rhymes
even makes
with
it
Milo. Rhymes with
Milo. Okay. You realize I don't play Wordle for this exact reason. I'm terrible with these types of
I don't play the Wordle game either because it takes too much time and I'm too competitive. I'd be like overthinking that. So yeah, this is Milo from the novel. This is the Light Dragon version. All right.
Sorry,
do you know
Milo.
who this one is?
That is the samurai squirrel. The samurai. Yeah, but does he have a name? I feel like he has.
Yeah, this one's a special. Do you guys know who it is?
Yeah.
I'm secret.
Oh, shit. Why am I drawing blanks on these? I know who it is. Who is it, Lord?
I don't know.
This is not a squirrel. So this is a bunny.
No.
Oh,
from another collection.
It's a collab.
Yeah, it's a collab. Yeah, it's a collab, but it's in the game. It's in the TCG.
Yeah, that's where I'm recognizing it from the TCG. It's I feel like I want to cheat and go to the other screen and look.
Hey, you can cheat. Like I didn't say there was any restrictions from cheating.
Oh man, the time it would take me to find that in the TCG chat.
It probably would be difficult, but
it's
I think it's like it might be COs. Like Frost might have this.
Okay.
Like this, he might have won the collab of this one.
I know that it's one gamer plays with because I recognize the piece, but I'm not.
It hasn't been
yet. Lockmore, is it? Lockmore, no, is it?
No, it's not Lothbrok Deny. Yeah, this. Do you guys want me to give you some hints?
Yeah.
What's that? Starts with H and ends with Thin.
Paraffin.
Yes, that's correct.
I knew I'd recognized it. Damn it.
Yeah. All
right,
how about this one? Does this one look familiar?
That's one of mine, right?
Yeah.
Yes, this one was one I bought though. This was an Ultimate Hero I think I picked up already made. So I do not know her name, unfortunately. Isn't that sad? That's terrible that I don't. I recognized it as mine. Does that count?
Yeah, that does count. That does count.
Is it something with a G?
No, it doesn't. Doesn't start with a G. It starts with an R.
Raylan.
Yeah, Raylan. REGENLEIF. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Raylan. Yeah, Raylan. Something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Sort of.
Yeah, All right, next up. This one doesn't necessarily have a name, but it's a character.
This one belongs to Miss Firefly, doesn't it?
I think she's might be one of the owners. There are only 3 of them. So
Okay, this is shoot. I know this one for some reason. I can't think of the name of this one either. But this is. Does it start with a D?
No, it starts with an like. She's the and starts with an S. Like she has two names, and she's holding the last. She's holding the first name of her.
The sword something.
Shield.
Shield.
She's the Shield Maiden.
Shield Maiden. Okay, my God.
Yeah.
Don't watch this later, anybody. Let's
no worries.
No, we're right there. We're not getting any of these.
Aaron, we're educating people. That's the fun thing about this game is like everybody that watches this is getting an education about some of the cool stuff in the collection.
So the less I know, the better it is for the masses.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, so we're having some fun.
Okay.
All right. This one.
That is a ghost bunny that I feel like for some reason belongs to Disco. I do not know its name though. Does it belong to Disco?
It belongs to you.
Did I buy it from Disco?
You might have. I didn't look at the history of it.
I was gonna say we should have played Is My Bunny or Not, but I guess I'm terrible at that too.
Oh yeah. I played that with Creature. We played Your Bunny or Mine.
Yeah.
That takes a lot more effort because you have like 184 in Series 1.
Yeah.
And you have like everything, so it'd be hard to like. I wouldn't remember 184 of them. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I feel like I should know. Do you know what the truth is? I was going to guess me at first, but I felt like I would have recognized that gold staff. So I said, "Nah, that can't be mine," because I don't know why I didn't recognize that. So, but I was instinctively going to say mine.
Yeah, it starts with an L. Does that help?
No.
Okay, it's not even a little bit. It's Lochnar.
That's Lochnar. Okay.
Locnar. So
that's what I named, dude. That's terrible. I told them to give one a name, Lochnar, and they said okay, but I didn't know they put it on this one. But that's a name I actually picked. So forgive me for anybody watching this.
This is awesome.
Yeah, no
worries. Name it something. I have no idea what that name is, though.
There it goes, folks. We know everyone's off the.
Can I tell you a quick story about Lochnar?
Yeah. That's what I was hoping. I was hoping to get some stories about some of these.
You guys know? Have you heard that name before?
I have not.
Okay, so have you familiar with the cartoon from like the 70s? I think the late 70s, maybe 78, 79, called Heavy Metal.
No.
Oh, well, you're missing out if you haven't. You should go YouTube or Netflix or whatever. Heavy Metal. It's like a classic. But in the movie, there's this space entity, we'll call it, right? Because it changes forms and does things. But it just starts off in the beginning as a little green ball. And it's just this innocent little glowing marble. Well, that is the Lochnar. And it's the alien force that's throughout the movie. So that's what the name came from. I just always liked the name. But you got to see that movie. I can't believe y'all haven't seen that movie.
No, we haven't. At least I haven't.
It's a research for us for sure, man. It sounds sick.
Right. Yeah.
Knowing the story behind the name.
Just make
we
sure
could do like a live and just kind of watch it all. Like we could get together and like watch it together.
Dude, it's a trippy movie. It's great. BBS, you've seen it, right? You look like you've seen it.
I think I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I'll add it to the list. I'm always up for new and interesting.
You gotta at least see it once in your life.
All right. Next one up. Hey, who's this, sweetie?
That's Griselda or Grizz. Yeah, that's the Eulogian. Is that mine? It might be mine.
It is yours. Yeah.
Okay.
I figured I'd go easy and bring in like stuff from your collection. You got a nice enough collection that it makes it easy. I can pick some of the stuff that you have that's in yours.
Right. Okay. Cool.
This one should be easy. This next one should be super easy.
Okay.
Because we've already talked about it.
Yeah. That's the gambler, aka Cornelius A. Skull.
And he's your latest, right? Like that you just got this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He just got finished. He's been in the last several drinking draws to complete. And dude, he's my favorite of all the art. I know I'm biased too, but he's just my favorite. If you notice, if you can zoom in, I don't know if you can or not, but all the chips, the poker chips, have the DPS logo on them. Frank put
I
the
didn't
DPS
know
logo
wow.
on them. Yeah, and not only that, but the 7-2 is my favorite hand to play because it kind of like burns people. So he put that in the fire. But then I got pocket aces in my pocket too. So if you look at it,
Oh, right over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's so much stuff in there. It's awesome.
Wow. Wow.
that is awesome. So did you
I always
help him with
think
did you give him these things like, like did when you were doing your custom with Frank, did
Well,
he
yeah,
ask you things?
yeah. It's sort of, I don't know if you guys have done a custom with Frank, but the way it's kind of like working with Jad a little bit, right? Like Jad and I, when we work together, he'll ask me, "What do you want?" And then I'll tell him, and he'll go, "Okay," and then he'll come do something different. You know what I mean? And so what he usually does is better. And so the same thing with Frank. It kind of is like, ask me what I want, and I kind of just default a little bit, more and more, kind of like leaving it broad and allowing Frank to narrow it down. And so ironically, we had talked about it at the beginning with the AI, but when he had this vision for this, when I was getting it made, he had already kind of, I think, knew what he wanted. But he wanted me to want that, or he wanted me to say it, so he kept kind of guiding me, to kind of explain his vision, I think. And so what I did is, in turn, I took it and I fed it through AI. And then I ended up giving him back several images in AI, which is kind of how he defaulted with that kind of skull overlay top face thing. And the top hat came from the other project that we were talking about earlier that we left. I had also got a custom one-on-one in there that I did a lot of work to get and waited a long time to get. And I was super happy about that. So Frank was there that day when I finally got that thing. And I showed it off and everything. So he remembered that, and he kind of blended that into this. He was like, "Well, I remember, the top hat character, and you like that," and so forth. And so he ran with it in a recreation almost of my original one-on-one that I wanted, that was done custom by another artist. And he sort of one up that and then made it so personal, like I said, with the 7 and the 2 and the pocket aces and then my actual logo and all that stuff. But yeah, man, it was great because with Frank, with this kind of stuff, I sort of always try to just default to his vision. I don't almost want to interrupt anything that he's seeing, So as weird as it sounds, as he goes through and finished it, and as we were watching each Friday, more and more of what I was thinking in my head was coming to life in front of me. So it was just beautiful, man, to watch it being made, because I couldn't have described it or asked for it to be any better than it is. It's literally, like I said, my favorite. There's so many details. If you guys look, like the reflection on the monocle, the fire, how the fire reflects off his face and everything like that. Like watching him draw that, it stands out so much to me, where somebody just looking at this might not even catch on to that. Like his ears pierced, you know what I mean? He's got the spade in the top of his hat there. He's got, like I said, the reflection of the fire on his face and in the monocle, the glare. All those little details are just what makes this thing so magnificent to me. And then it ties in too with the little story I got that I told them that hopefully we'll get into the book. But that little wand is supposed to be like a magic wand, because if y'all know the Samurai General, which I also have, he's got the pouch and he's pouring out the tainted scyther. And so there's maybe going to be some connection in the future with the Samurai General and his tainted scyther and my guy Cornelius's tainted scyther wand here. Just saying, maybe. I don't know what Frank's thinking, but
nice. Now, is he a shaman? I assume he's a shaman. Is he a shaman?
Yep.
Then that's similar to the other collab Joker that you have in your the summer bash. So
yeah, that one.
So yeah, those are
really
both
too,
both awesome. I don't have the collab Joker in this Name That Bunny game, but also just a cool thing that just if anybody watching, you should go check out the Summer Bash on DPS, because there's a one of one that Frank drew that's inside that collection, that you also I think there you have merch and stuff like that has it. It's pretty cool drawing as well.
Yeah. There's a hoodie that we made it's actually called the Lenatra hoodie. It's actually his custom, because he got a custom. And so we made it and we left it available in the store. A couple people bought it already. But yeah, it's awesome. Nice. It's that Joker you're talking about on the back with our logo on the front. And it came out really nice.
Very cool. Well, speaking of,
there it is. There it is.
All right, with this one, I have a special request on the Name That Bunny. We know that it's the samurai squirrel, the one of one that you own, but does he have a name yet? Like,
no,
have you picked the name?
His name is actually going to come from like the team, right? Because I can't name him. Frank said he's going to actually be in the book. He's going to be part of the story,
Ah.
so they've got to name him accordingly to what they're writing. So I won't know his name until it gets to that point.
So he's gonna you'll find out his name when we find out his name in the book. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I thought you got to pick, like, like of all those names that were submitted into that Discord channel. I thought
that was for the one we just went off of. Yeah, that was for the gambler.
That was just for the gambler. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That
Very
one
cool.
I was allowed to name because that one was done sort of like it's a one-on-one, that's just in the collection, but that's for me. This is a one-on-one that's from the collection and going back into the story. The gambler may or may not make it like a cameo or something like that in the story, but this guy's definitely going to be part of the story. And so Frank and Kristen, the writers and all that, they've got a plan for this guy. So, but you do know he's got a dragon too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's in my wallet as soon as I can make it happen.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think there's 3 other guys on this call that or on this show that would like to put their name in for that dragon as well.
You can't take the guy's dragon. How's he going to get around?
It's custody, man. It, like every other weekend.
Okay. We'll time share on the dragon.
Shared custody. Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed this, but you probably can't see it, but I have the canvas print that I won of your squirrel. He's in the upper right. I got that from here. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit and show you. But your squirrel, he adorns my wall back there. I won won that through that Twitter contest, and he is very, very cool. So I'm a fan of your squirrel. I think everybody on this call is a fan of your squirrel. Why do I keep calling it a call? Like, what is this, the 1980s, and we're on a teleconference?
Did you hear the story? You know the story of how I got that squirrel?
Yes, I know it because but tell the fans.
Yeah,
like,
better for you.
During the space when this was being announced, we were actually streaming. I was simulcasting live into a spatial environment. We had built a spatial to show off and watch in there. I can't remember now even because I was so excited what the watch party was. Even what were we doing in there? Does anybody, Lord, do you remember? I can't remember now what we were watching.
I think it was the final egg thing, wasn't it? Like, wasn't it like the final egg hatching?
It was something like that was going on.
This was it was like a Saturday giveaway.
Right. Yeah. And we were in the spatial. You know what spatial is, right? Like the 3D world and the environment and stuff.
Yep.
So there's a little amphitheater we made, just a cute little like sit down amphitheater, and we were all sitting there watching. And Steven's in there, and they're doing the thing, and then we're all in there chilling together. And they announced the winner, because it was an NFT number, right? So you had to. There you go. Just that's it. Yeah. And so you had to.
I'm go in the spatial right now, guys.
That's so funny because they do. There's such a we play that Oculus golf and shit all the time, man. Are you in there with them?
I have not done that yet, but yeah, I've got to
get in there.
We got some Oculuses for the kids a few years ago, and now they just sit up here on the shelf because they're not interested in it. They played some of that Beat Saber for a while, but that was about it.
Yeah, the golf is really cool. The putt one, the real golf is actually like real golf, but the putt's the one that all of them play like every night religiously, like Krista and Jad and Disco and Doug and all them.
Nice.
But yeah, so we were in the spatial, and it was announced, and Steven was in there, the one that actually won it, right? His NFT was drawn, his number was called or whatever it is. And so he was super excited. He's like, that's me. And he just, starts jumping up and down, like literally because his character is, jumping up and down. And he's all excited. Immediately when that happens, I know 2 things are going on right now. He's trying to figure out how to claim it, right? At the same time as others are trying to figure out how they're going to get it from him. You know what I mean? It's like
there's a window closing.
Yeah,
window closing.
Exactly. And I sat for a minute and I thought, and so I went into the DMs and I tag him, and I'm like, hey, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh yeah, I was like, congrats. I didn't want to, be too harsh up front, congrats on the win, man. That's awesome. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, this and that. And I was like, so listen, if you want to sell that thing ever, let me know. I'm definitely interested, And then he's like, okay, we'll do. Probably won't sell it. And I was like, shit, I wouldn't either. I don't blame you. And then that was it for me. I was going to let it go. And then something told me, you know what? I was like, hold on. I was like, all right, I wouldn't sell it either, but I said, if you're interested, I'd give you $1,000 for it. You know what I mean? And so he's like, nah, I'm going to keep it, you know? And I'm like, all right, no, I get that. I get that. And I thought about it again. I was almost going to let it go. I thought, no, let me do this. I wrote back and said, all right, how about $1,000 and a Spartan? And he said, wait, what? So, before he even had time,
What did you say?
I said, yeah, $1,000 in a Spartan. I give you $1,000 in a Spartan right now, you know? And he's like, you know, kind of questioning it. Is it real? You know, this and that. And then he's like, well, dude, I've always wanted a Spartan. I was like, well, yeah, man. And they're like $1,000 on the floor right now anyway. You know what I mean? $1,200, whatever. I said, so it'll be a win-win. And he's like, all right, let's do it. And so I was scrambling at this point, you know, because I actually needed to move some money around. And, you know, I was wanting to hurry up and get like this taken care of. So that immediately what I did was I without hesitating, just sent him the Spartan, like to lock the deal in. You know, I was like rolling the dice. You know, I didn't know him that well, but I knew him well enough. And so I was like, all right, you know, boom. So I sent that right away. And then he was cool enough to actually send the squirrel immediately too, before any money exchange or anything. He sent it. And then later he told me it was because he didn't want to change his mind, you know? So he immediately sent it to me. And then we worked it out to where I sent him the ETH, the 1,000 in ETH. And it was cool because he was so excited because at that point it was the most ETH he had in the wallet and so forth. And he was so excited. But then, you know, that was all within 5 minutes. This all took place in less than 5 minutes from the time the announcement was made to the time they put it in his wallet already. And then he sent it to my wallet. So literally by the time like the Cloppings and the other folks that were able to facilitate, you know, that kind of a purchase, by the time they were looking at it to go see, you know, to make maybe whoever owned it an offer, meaning Steven, it was already in my wallet at that point. You know what I mean? So I sent him the money. Everything was great. And then it was within like an hour from that, he ended up swapping. I think it was Colin, you know.
Yeah, he and Colin swapped Spartans because Colin had one that like he liked.
Yeah,
Steven's
yeah, he liked the
his.
color or something better, he said. So he was stoked. He was happy. I was stoked. I was happy. Colin, I guess, you know, got in on the deal. He was stoked. But it worked out great. And, you know, literally I'm in there like we did all that. We got done. I jump over. Everybody's in the artist showcase talking. And they're like, oh, congrats, Steven, congrats. And then quietly he's like, well, you know. And then as this is all going on and people are learning that I already have it, that's right when Clopping jumped in. And he's like, so Steven, you know, what do you want to make a deal? Blah, blah. And he's like, oh, and everyone was like, oh, it's already gone, you know. And then so Clopping, of course, asked what the deal was. And so, you know, in my mind, I got a steal. You know, I mean, I got the number one ranked. I got the best freaking artwork. I got a steal, you know. So when I told Clopping right away, I was like, well, here's what we did, the 1,000 Spartan. He's like, oh, Steven, you don't want to know what I would have offered you. And I was like, I know what you would have offered him. That's why I hurried the hell up, you know.
What do you think Clopping would have? What do you think Clopping? What do you think he was going to give 2 ETH for it?
He would have probably gone to, you know, 1,500 for his initial offer, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe, yeah. And then who knows if he would have turned that down? Because obviously, you know, it's always that. What would you do for $1 million? You can say whatever until the million's there. So when I said 1,000 at first, I'm just somebody saying money. But when, you know, 1,000 and then Clopping jumps in, would have said 1,500. I'm sure Steven would have wrote me back and goes, well, you know, blah blah blah, and then I would have, you know, had to been 2,000, and then the Clopping would have jumped probably to 25.
Yeah, it would have just ticked up until
I had to nip it in the bud as fast as I could, man. You know?
No, that was played very, very, very well. So so anyways, we got to make sure that your internet doesn't work when the dragon gets announced and somebody wins it, you know, so that like we can just block you, so at least, you know, one of us can sneak in. And no.
I'll tell you, you get one.
I remember
every minute.
Right? And I heard Kiss the School, and I heard it going on, so I pull over, and then I heard Steve win it, right? And then literally before I even got home, legit, Aaron already had it in the VC. It's just like, how, man? Like, that's crazy. Like, that's going to literally go down as the snag of the century, because obviously, in my opinion, too, non-financial, but this is the creme de the creme. Like, this is the holy grail of the collection, like, so far. So it's like, and like the colors, man, like anything, like with the Gambler and the collab for DPS, that green that he does, man, that is just absolutely crazy. And this is my favorite by far. It forever will be, apart from obviously your collab, because that is abs. That's the one that I can possibly get, because it's not in Aaron's wallet yet.
No.
So
Well, never. I have trouble spelling anything. I minted an extra, I intended on minting so many dark dragon eggs, and I minted an extra one. I don't remember why at the point. I think I was trying to get it for somebody else, or I don't remember. But then somebody had missed out on the original one, in the first round. And so I had that extra one. And so for the project, I went in and sent it over, and they paid me what I minted for and all that. But I had to let it go. And it was so hard to do. And then fast forward to, I think, the second wave it was, and I had also one extra. I think at this point it was because they were saying there's still an ultimate hero left, and I was like, all right, let me try to go get one more and see if I get lucky. You know what I mean? And then I didn't. I got just, one badass rando, whatever it was. But then I immediately was like, okay, let me put it up for sale. It's more than I was wanting to get, And I put it up for sale, dude. And it was like I forgot my kid at the store or something. I don't know. The feeling was so weird. I put it up for sale, and then like less than 5 minutes later, I took the sale down. I couldn't. I couldn't let go of it. I was like, no. So I just have trouble selling any of them. I don't want to. I can't part with them. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm a hoarder.
Yeah, no, we totally get it. Totally get it.
Yeah, I totally get it.
Well, we have one more round. There's the Ultimate Fan bonus round. You've done well so far. This one, this one we'll go through really quickly because we are running out of time. We've had you for over an hour at this point, so we really appreciate your time. So, in the Ultimate Fan bonus round, we have these guys. I'm not going to say what they are,
right?
But you get one point for the naming what type they are, what size they are, you get 2 points, and what breed they are, you get 3 points, for a total of 5 points. So, and it, no hints on this one. This is the bonus round.
Well, first
and
off,
these actually did come out of your collection. So these
are mine, right? Okay, because I recognize these are the twin guard. I think is the name, right? So twin guard.
Yep, that's the type. So you get 1 point for that.
Yeah, and then the breed. Oh crap! I just knew the breed right there for a split second. Size is they are they're mature, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then breed is why am I drawing a blank on the breed?
It's not often spoken, but that's why that's why I thought it might be challenging. That's why it's worth 3 points.
Yeah, and you did say I can go cheat.
Well, yeah.
No, too long. My connection's so slow.
You got those pocket aces on your on your custom, so I know, like, I'm just kidding.
I'm drawing a blank on the breed. I want to. It's not a fintail, right? So.
No, it's the name starts with an E.
Do one of you guys know? Can I use my lifeline?
Sure. I'd love to see if these guys know. If he doesn't say,
Lord L, do you know?
Luke, do you have any?
No, sorry, I'm totally useless here.
Okay.
Why aren't you guys looking this up as he's struggling so you can be a valuable lifeline?
All right.
Oh, see, I'm even on the wrong thing. I was gonna go cheat real quick, but I'm on the wrong wallet, so I can't even go cheat.
Oh man, yeah.
So for some reason, the only thing that's coming to my mind is fintail, but I know it's not a fintail, and it's not a fintail. You said it starts with an E.
Yeah, it's myth. I mean, this is a mythic twin guard, so it has like its own name for its species to like the breed.
Oh, BBS, why don't you know this, man? Shame on you, Lord L. I don't know, man. I think
Lord L's going to save you. Lord L's going to save you, right? You're going to help him, right?
You're gonna, look it up, Lord L. What is it? You're my lifeline. Save my life.
Okay, so the lifeline has been trying to Google this whole freaking time. My internet sucks too. I'm like,
just put twin guard into, like, if you put twin guard spelled correctly into Google, like the Battle Bunnies, that it's a unique name to the Battle Bunnies, so it'll pull up OpenSea, so you write into a twin guard from Google.
So I know what it is now, but I can't pronounce it.
Irregard or something.
Eitendrek. Or something like that, like Ettindrek, but it's got the E umlaut. So I don't know how, like you said, BBS. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's an Eitendrek or Drake, or we'll have to ask Frank. Frank probably knows. He's like, Eitendrek.
Yeah.
Something like that. But no,
Brian, I think
you got 3 out of 5. That's not bad. What's that, Luke?
We need you to like produce your encyclopedia already, so we can all do some.
Yeah, we need to get that ultimate guide out there. We're going to produce an ultimate guide of the Battle Bunnies.
Oh, nice.
To kind of support the community at some point, like just so that people can get like a physical book of like, the history of the project. I don't know. This is just thinking out loud at this point. We don't actually have anything in the works, but I would love it. I would think it would be cool to have something like that.
Almost like a program if you go to like a concert or an orchestra or something, you get a program of everything. You could have like a program style, kind of like glossy, manual that shows you. That'd be cool.
Yeah, like the kids have like these Legos, like and you've seen like these Star Wars Ultimate Guides and stuff like that, where they go through the characters, and my kids have it for Marvel and DC and all this stuff like that, where you see like it's an anthology of like all the different things, and you don't have to have everybody in it, but like special things like your squirrel or these breeds that that are mythics and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't produce every single character, but you would show like the different breeds. So somebody that's new to the project, they can flip through the book and get like a good understanding without having to like swim through the digital wallets on OpenSea trying to look for the different things and stuff like that. So that's just the idea that I had.
Battle Bunnies for Dummies, like the For Dummies books.
Yeah, exactly.
Battle Bunnies for Dummies. You know what? And before we leave these, real quick, to tie in the story about Frank, if you want an answer back to that other question earlier, this is one of those examples right here of the community and finding something we wanted and all the things that we get to do as part of the Battle Bunnies. These came from, and if Frank can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was from me when I had asked sneakily, as he was in a space talking, I kept going, hey, so are there going to be twins? And he was like, first, no, and then I said something else in another drinking jar. I was like, hey, so did y'all figure out if you're going to have twins, and then again, no, there's no twins. And then, about 3 or 4 attempts of this. And then sure enough, I had no idea. It come, time for the mint, popped out these twins. And so it was, and so when I said something, I was like, oh, there are twins. He's like, yeah, we listen, and that's kind of the point I was making earlier, man. It's like, that kind of thing, like these might not have been there had I not bugged him, in fun and having fun with him, but also the fact that he takes that time to listen and then create something so awesome from just a community member saying, hey, we should have this, it's not like they're not doing enough work already. Look how these turned out. And the fact that I got this gold one, that's actually going on the canvas, man. It's going to be on my wall right next to Frank and Krista's Jokers, because that gold one is like pretty epic,
Yeah, I was going to ask you, which one's your favorite amongst these? And that firebrand and gold is like one of my favorite, like colorations. The firebrands are just cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite one of those. I'm definitely going to put that one on a canvas and hang it up. I've got a little shrine, kind of like what you guys got, but mine are. I've got the super large. Krista actually hand painted my collab Joker that went into the DPS Summer Bash, and
cool.
I've got the actual hand painting. It's like a 24 by 30 canvas. It's large. It's on my wall, and she's lacquered it and signed it and everything. It's my most valued piece of art in my house. You know what I mean? Like I'll never part with that. Yeah.
We'll have to see some pictures of that at some point if you're willing to share, because
there's already some out there, but I'll definitely Frank's is going to be, I'm actually going to because of the collab sense of it, and we did the project together on his Joker. He's actually going to let me, his signature's on it just like Krista's is, but he's going to let me send him a canvas. He's going to send me a file without the signature so I can have a canvas made of it, send that canvas to him, when it's shipped, and then he's going to actually sign it by hand and then send it back to me. So rather than have his stamped signature that's on all of them, because it was the collab like Krista had made and signed by hand, he's going to do the same thing for me. So when they're side by side, like I said, they're that's invaluable. You know what I mean? That's just amazing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. Well, that's all we have for the game. You did really well.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank
You definitely beat Clopping.
Did I? Awesome. Sweet.
Not to throw Bill under
bad.
the bus. Bill had no idea this was gonna come at him. Like he was
Right.
not prepared. Like, and he started off like with King Harold. He said it was Narf, and that just I think sent him in a tailspin.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was upset with himself after that.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed King Harold," you know, that kind of thing. So
Right.
he has a special invitation to come back, and I guarantee he's gonna crush it. He's gonna make his own cards, and he's talked about like helping us out with the ultimate guide. So he's gonna be well versed the next time he comes on for sure.
Oh, I'm sure. And they're going to be doing story time again too in the drinking draws coming up. So I'm going to make sure I'm in there and I'm listening, because the last story times, I admit I was, multitasking. I'm doing stuff in the background, and as much as you think you're retaining that information, when you start asking stuff, and I'm like, I know her dragon. I know Milo. I mean, come on, he's on the T-shirt. He's there. It's like I should have known that. So I'm gonna pay more attention.
The only reason why I know him is because I'm like creating the games. Because some of these, like, I'm like, what is her name again? Like your Regan, whatever, like the Regan or Raylan.
I call it Raylan. Yeah, Raylan.
Yeah, Raylan. I couldn't remember that, and I just put it in the game earlier this morning. So
okay,
that shows you how hard it is to stay up on it. But if you see it over and over again, right? And that's the whole point, is we want the community to take ownership of their if they're a holder, and name their bunnies and their dragons, and just have some fun with it, and write those backstories. Because believe it or not, like I think we have just a small percentage of the 3,700 plus have names. So there's lots of opportunity for somebody coming into the project even today to create a backstory, to create a character, like, to get it included in a future book potentially, or, some other story in the TCG, that kind of stuff. So John always reminds me, you're never too late. He's like, we're still really, really early with everything, the Battle Bunnies. So somebody joining right now basically has the same opportunity to get it and be part of the story. And I love that. I think that's really cool.
100%. Yeah, I mean, same thing with me. I felt like I came in late, and look at me now. You know what I mean? And so I literally did. When I came in, I was like, oh man, I have 4 Spartans now. When I came in, I was like, I'll never get a Spartan. And you just gotta, keep your eyes out. Sometimes you'll find a great deal, sometimes trading, whatever. But it's true, because of the fact that, the way it's set up and the way you can go in and pick up things, and you got your Euligans, but they're coming back for this Christmas, you know what I mean? And you've got your Spartans, right? But now we're getting Series 2 is going to have the Dark Dragons. They're going to have their own version of Spartans. And it's just like you said, there's never really any time you're too late, because wherever you come in at, there's always growth from there on, but you can always backtrack a little bit too, because there's so many people in the community, that have so many of these things that are, holders, and like, Clopping and myself, for instance, I gave away, I've got a Euligan still, but I probably gave away 15 of them in the beginning, because when the mint went so quick, it minted out. A lot of people missed out, So I was like, okay, yeah. And I got a few to this person, a few to that person, trying to help out. And that's the great thing about the Fluffle, is just like you said, it's also why you're never too late, because even if something's not like, Hoppy Spartan, for instance, he's got, close to 50 of these things. At some point you catch him, you can, get yourself one maybe, or like he came in and bought up a bunch of Euligans. I think he bought all 13, from one person.
A whole set.
So, yeah, a whole set, so there's so many opportunities for people that just want to flip and make money, for holders that want to hold and collect, for art, fans that want to just, enjoy the artwork. And then all of it isn't stagnant, if that's the right way to say it, right? Like all of it is organic and growth. Like you like you just said, right? You start off with a Series 1 that has no name, you give it a name and give it a backstory. Next thing you know, it could end up in the book. I mean, where else can you do that? What other project can you come in, pick yourself up something, be active, and then grow with the project so easily? You know what I mean? I just love it. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Is there any that have eluded you that you really, really want, that you're, I mean,
Lord Elf's Legendary Spartan.
Lord Ells.
I'm trying to get that in the background right now as we speak. No, but there hasn't really been any, I guess I would say have eluded me with the Ultimate Hero did, for a little bit. And then I went and I got that. And then the one-on-one, I got a couple. I think I got one or two more, customs coming, one-on-ones coming. But that's the same thing. Like those aren't necessarily, I guess, eluding me, but they're what I'm setting my sights for. So for instance, the number of dark dragons I'm minting is twofold. One, I want all those opportunities to have all those ultimate heroes, because one from each wave equals an ultimate hero. So 5 from each wave equals 5 ultimate heroes. You see how I'm going with that, right? But then at the same time, you have opportunity to mint one that says ultimate hero, and then every single one is also an entry into the dragon for my squirrel. And so, as much as it may seem like on one hand, hey, I'm just whaling in, like Lord was asking in the beginning, there's another reason why I'm whaling in right there. I have a purpose with 5 from each wave. That's my goal, is to get 5 ultimate heroes from this collection and to hopefully, have my name land on that, so I don't have to hustle for that dragon. You know what I mean? But that's the one that's eluded me yet. It's not here yet, but it's eluding me in the sense that I'm doing everything I can to get it in my wallet without having to buy it again. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. Plus, you get the benefit of all the eggs and the
exactly.
There's some
art
mythics could be in there and stuff like that. Yeah, these dark dragons are very, very nice. So
I've been lucky enough to get an unhatchable from each wave also, so I'm going to try to keep that trend up.
Yeah, I'd like to get some of your luck to rub off on me. Like I keep getting eggs, but not eggs with anything that's special. I had to buy Collins when he put up his egg from Snowflake Valley. It had the what's the wheel, like the wheel of destiny. I hadn't got a wheel, and I minted a whole bunch of eggs so far, and I'd yet to get anything that had anything extra. So I'm still the unhatchable has eluded me, but now I finally have a wheel of destiny. So I'm like, okay, at least I have one. But I do have a couple of elders, so I can't complain. Like the elders,
That's
it'll
the
be
one
nice
thing
that
that
I don't have
eludes
to age
me.
them.
I get so many babies. I don't have any elders. I'm gonna have to do all this work now to
all those Scyther games.
Yeah. That's why I'm a little lazy about it. I really wish I would have. I love the babies. Don't get me wrong, but I wish I would have gotten more elders out of the batch. I think
I get like the strategist in me thinks like if everybody ages up their dragons, won't the babies then become more rare? Because everybody didn't age up their dragons, but it, I'm sure not everybody will age their dragons.
Right.
So that becomes like a strategy, okay, well, what do I do? Do I just leave my matures as matures, or do I age them to elders? Because elders are going to be more rare, or, that kind of thinking. But
then there's that, like they add to the NFT itself, right? So the more you have that you can click through, the more valuable that NFT is. So I think that might,
the babies might be worth more because it's going to have 3 different phases. Whereas my elders are going to age up too, though. It's just I don't have to pay anything.
Yeah, they're all going to be there automatically. That's the thing. Yeah, so if you're not wanting to do the work, you get the elder. That gives you all of them automatically. Whereas if the babies, what you start with, you've got to work your way up through the others. So it's kind of like, I'm with you. I'm definitely gonna have some babies at the end. So
I want to
you can't click through, but just the way it is.
I don't want to age up everything. I want to kind of, equal, representation of all the different stages and stuff like that. So I'm definitely gonna have to work in the Scyther games to get some Scyther so I can do that.
I think they said it's going to be tradable this time too. Is it, or is that something I'm making up in my head? Are you going to be able to trade or give away Scyther? I think.
I remember that as well. I remember. I was there. I'm pretty sure that same conversation. From what I got from it is we're allowed to buy it off people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I may have to find a poker tournament for people to give me Scyther or something. So
you're gonna need a lot of
assets. You got other assets than money. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take you pay now, like we do Venmo and we do Poly, we do ETH and credit cards. Now we're going to take Scyther too. So if you want to mention, give me your Scyther, and I'll get you a fall bash.
Sweet. No, that's a good
You're
idea.
Get it right.
the general should give you Scyther. Like the general should give you Scyther. That would be nice, right? If they
Yeah.
just said, "Hey, it's
Oh,
a
he's just
added
poured it
bonus
out.
that
Yeah.
you just got it." Yeah.
Yeah, I should be able to have a faucet, like to turn it on and off and just drip cider. You're right. I got to talk to
Just,
Frank about that. I like that.
Yeah, tainted cider coming out.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Nice.
it's like, hey, if you pick 2 or 3 dragons, they're the ones that are like his cohorts, and he can help them. Or I don't know. That'd be fun.
I like it. I like it.
Well, we've taken almost an hour and a half of your time. We'll have to probably cut this up into 2 episodes because
Right. Well, I feel like I'm taking
out.
an hour and a half of y'all's time, but thank you.
No, it's good.
No, we've really enjoyed this. I don't do you guys have any additional questions before we let Aaron go?
I got one question. Can you share something with us that you haven't shared before, like an interesting little tidbit, or something that you're just not like? We hear you every week, or we see in the Discord, but like, is there something like there's like a little bit of like, hey, that's an interesting fact. Like that's cool to know.
Like personal Web3 related, what you looking for?
Anywhere you want to go, man.
Huh. Let me think.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah.
What deep dark secret do you want to reveal to us this evening that you've never told anyone?
Let's keep it Web3 then. Let's keep it like I don't know.
Something that you would be comfortable sharing with the fans.
Yeah. I'm trying to think because, like you said, I'm running my mouth all the time and talking every week in the spaces and everything. I'm trying to think of something y'all don't know. Well, you guys all know about Freestyle Fridays I used to do, right? So one thing you maybe don't know is I'm trying in the background to maybe bring that back where DPS hosts Freestyle Fridays. But
what
that's
are Freestyle Fridays?
Like we used to do these in beat. Well, I might as well say it so it makes sense, right? In Beatheads, the other project we were in is music related. And so a group of us got together and we hosted these spaces on Twitter, called them Freestyle Fridays. And essentially we played, beats and people would come up and freestyle and rap and stuff like that. And sometimes we'd turn the music off and they'd have an open mic and read poetry and just different stuff like that. Some people actually wrote music and they weren't freestyling, they did it, but it was a lot of fun, man. In the beginning it was great. I mean, we had like Aloe Black came in there and stuff. We had a couple other pseudo celebrities like Web3, like Nessie and some of these guys like Crypto Casual. Some of these big names in the Web3 space were all in there early on, and it was a really fun space. And then it kind of just went, it started getting more and more traction elsewhere. People did this, but it was always a lot of fun. And I just feel like it might be something with the Fluffle fam and the DPS where I don't know about the numbers. Like we had a lot of people in the Beatheads and the communities there that were into it. Here it might not be quite as many, but you don't know. You never know. Like there were so many people, like we would just sit and BS with the Discord and you never knew they were, artistic like that. And they'd come in there and get on the mic. Like, I mean, there was, you remember Karu, whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I think, remember she's an actual artist over in Australia, like I think it was, and actually in a band and stuff. Never knew that about her, but she did all these like covers and actually had a real band. And then there was there was probably 5 or 6 other people that surprised me that just came in there and started rapping and freestyling and doing their thing. But it was just an open space, man. We just got in there, we just goofed off and had a lot of fun on late night Friday nights, so that was all.
All right, so I'm going to turn on the beat now, and we're expecting you to freestyle, Aaron.
You got to get a lot of Gentleman Jack and me, man. I actually read the music, so you'd have to get a lot. There was a couple nights where they got me about 3 a.m. where I was getting a little silly enough to, there's maybe about 5 or 6 people left, and I got in there and acted a little silly once in a while.
Nice.
Yeah,
No,
nothing you ever want to hear. We didn't record it.
Oh, man. Yeah. If you did, it lives forever on the internet.
I wish I could give y'all something a little better. The one thing that you don't know about me for Web3. Let me see. Oh, well, I could say about the XYO, but y'all already know about. I've told that story a bunch where I made all the money off the coin. What did he rug for me only, or you guys too?
I had no idea what he just said.
Okay, what'd you say there, Lordo?
I was going to say, man, like, to be honest, like you just said, man, you're always in spaces talking with us. You're always telling us what's going on, and because you're super transparent, and that's one of the reasons why we love you. And I think that's why it's so hard for you to come up with something we don't know, because we know, because we talk about this. We muck around in so many different we muck around on in voice chats all the time. Everyone there might be some quirky things that some of us don't know here and there. But most of the shit, you've already told us all your demons. Well, most of it, you've already, we're part of each other's lives now. So it's what's something I don't know? I was trying to bail you out and think of something that you guys don't know about me. But I'm the same. I tell everything how it is, because that's, this is what this space is. This isn't, some make believe land. This is real life. So it's when you create relationships with people. It's just like real life. Like I say, I was talking to someone the other day about people like my friends on the Web3, and I'll just be like, oh, Aaron said this, or Frank did that, and then who's that? And then I just tell them it's my friends in America. You know what I'm saying? It's it's that day of life. It's it's hard to think of anything that we don't know. Definitely from you, Aaron, because man, you're everywhere.
Yeah, that's one thing I guess maybe y'all don't know about me, just in the IRL crossover, is that I am constantly unsuccessful onboarding people into Web3. I'm always telling my friends about that love to play poker what we're doing, and they just laugh, dude. They're like, oh, NFTs, dude, here, and they'll screenshot a picture online. Look, I got an NFT. I'm like, dude, it's not even like that. I was like, I'm not even technically about NFTs. I give you a piece of art that represents a membership. They're like, oh yeah, here, I got my membership, or you know what I mean? It's all jokes. I can't get anybody to take what we do seriously, because they think it's like a playground for degens, you know what I mean? Like we don't have any other life or anything. And I always try to explain to them, I mean, you guys know, because I've said in thousands of spaces, but I run an IRL business, and do this, so I mean, I got a life, I got other obligations and responsibilities, and I take this just as serious, you know what I mean? So for me, when I'm with those guys and they're goofing on me, I'm always like, they're missing out, you know what I mean? We're on ground zero of something that I think is the future. And I always tell these guys, it's like, y'all are all missing out, man. There's going to be a day like we said in the beginning. I started off with 54, collections, right? First one sold out in 3 hours. Second one sold out. Third one, we missed the mark. Fourth one, we missed the mark. Fifth one, we died on, because that led us right into the summer bash. So we didn't even sell nearly half. But yet you turn right into the summer bash, and now we sold 1,080. You know what I mean? So we went from 54 to 1,080, sold out. Fall bash is damn near sold out, and so on to the winter bash, which I can almost guarantee will be sold out when y'all find out about the grand prize. You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of like, that all comes from you guys, essentially, like, you know what I mean? Because BBS can attest, and he was there when we used to try to, I was begging for a poker night over and over and over in this other Discord, over and over and over, and everybody wanted to play, but the project wouldn't set up the game. And so, we needed, like I said, a place to play. And so for me to be able to come in here and start with just an idea to want to hang out with you guys and play poker, turn that into something that we actually, created. Hey, we got a deck of cards now. We got 54 people that can play poker. And to now that we've got things that fellas like BBS are collecting, I don't know, what do you have, 80 something of the spiders now or something?
Yeah, I've got, I got something.
Yeah, I mean, this is the most humbling thing that I've experienced in my life, much less, in this space, you guys. So that might be something you don't know about me. But yeah, look at these.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
This is a sheet of 54, and even the jokers are spiders. Like, they're not the Joker. Like, so when you collect a deck, you have to have two jokers. But I said, hey, can I just, because I've got them, can I add them as the Joker too? And so this is a sheet, an uncut sheet of those, but I have 72, and 8 of them. The only 8 that I don't have, guess who has them? Guess who owns those 8?
Clapping
owns the 8.
Clapping?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you're never getting those out of his hands.
He's like, I'll never trade those 2. And I said, well, all right, I'll talk to you in a year or so.
Yeah, right. When we'll find something he wants that you'll have a bunch of. That's the thing that's cool about this. I just saw
when BBS wins your dragon, the squirrel's dragon, then he'll trade that to Clopping for those 8.
No, don't do that.
Plus some
Something
cash.
ridiculous like that's gonna happen. I'm down.
No,
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with that.
If that does happen, Clopping's got that leg up, because it'd be like, and the 8 spiders. So it's like, sheesh. That's gonna be
I
hard.
had to go through.
To be honest, now
go through the forest to get to those 72. Like I had to teach someone how to use MetaMask to get one of them, and that was
Wow.
like a week. I had to like go in there and physically say, okay, you set this up, and then you change to poly, and he was like, okay. And then there's a few collectors, right, that they're just like us. Like, there's no way they're gonna trade them.
Right.
There's just like they're gonna hit you with that wall and say, yeah, I'm not trading. So with Klopping, I know he's not gonna trade it, but others, it's like, all right, well, I'll wait. That's what I do. I'm gonna draw you into the web,
Right.
and
Step
then
the
I'm gonna wait.
spider.
And so yeah, so I just waited until I had something, and then they wanted it from me, similar to what I hope is gonna happen with the other 8. But yeah, and then it was just like a win-win, and that's really what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to like win over anybody. So like when I hear that story from you, Aaron, about like you immediately offered those 2 items to him for that the general, like that's honorable, right? It's a steal no matter what you offer him, but you're giving him something that's going to make him feel good about it, and he's not going to regret that later. He
Right.
might a little bit, but you've given him like 2 of the best things, right? Something that he can use right away, and another piece that's like so hard to get. Like these things don't show up. The Spartans don't show up. So
Right. No, yeah.
I'll get those 8, but it'll be a while.
Right. And in
Patient.
tribute to you collecting all those, I just want to know, because I mean, we didn't have them in the fall bash. We had the different characters, the octopuses and so forth. But the winter bash, we're bringing back spider characters for you.
There
So I
you
did
go.
that
Nice.
specifically for you. They're
I
not
appreciate
necessarily the
that.
same as what you just showed us, but they're 4 different characters that are related to spiders. You'll like them, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
excited about that.
Yeah, and I show this a lot, but like I have this shirt here. This is another one that someone said there's no way I'm trading you that, and it's like my favorite piece of all of them. It's just like
Nice.
a little trainer sitting there with this spider, and there's actually a girl version of this too.
Oh, really?
But yeah, she's doing the same thing.
Okay.
So I get that, and then yeah. So he said, I'm not gonna throw him out there, but yeah, he said, I'm not going to trade that to you. That's my forever item. And I said, all right, I'll talk to you in a couple of days. I got back
You
to
got
him.
it.
If
Nice,
I had
nice.
something that he
Forever
wanted,
happiness.
and then, it just made it a win-win. That's all. That's all it is.
Dude, you don't know how awesome that makes me feel as a founder, that you guys are, doing that in the background and, able to pull that off, and you want one and he doesn't want to let it go. I mean, that's just, I never would have put myself here, a year ago. This has been now coming up in 2 more months. This will have been a year for DPS. And I've just, like I said, man, I'm so humbled to hear stories like that, and things. I can tell you something you don't know. We can close it here, because otherwise, like I said, I'll talk to you guys till 3 in the morning, right? But speaking of Kristen, Frank, and all of us being family and being close, there's a lot that comes with being a founder that is not recognizable outside in. It's just simply not. No matter what you do, no matter how much you invest in a project, no matter how much time you spend helping out, even stepping up to being a mod in some cases, you just never get a full vision of the amount of work. The amount of work, I think, is obvious, right, to some. But the amount of work it takes, and then the amount of slack is the word I'll use, that you get back sometimes from people. It can put you into an emotional place you never thought you would go. I built this thing to have fun with, and I built this thing to give back, and I built this thing to enjoy myself. And there came a period of time early on, probably about the 3rd or 4th month, when I was lost to the point where I was almost enough is enough. And I was literally scheduled to have a call with John, from Food Fight. And John had already been talking with me, because again, everybody's family here. And so when he saw I was doing something and Chris and Frank were interested, and we were collabing and doing poker games for him and all that, he jumped in and wanted to learn about us. So I was scheduled to talk with him about some of the stuff in the direction of DPS, and he was excited about what we were doing and the value we gave back to founders passes, and all these things were, coming up. But then there was this emotional side, man, that I was going through. And so about 2 hours before that phone call with him, I got in one of my morning coffee sessions with Frank, and I just was honest, man, just brutally honest with him. I told him, dude, I can't do it, man. He's like, what's going on? And I was just like, well, this happened overnight, and this has happened, and this is going on, and I tried, and all these things. And it's just like, you you're working so hard and it's not getting anywhere, you know, and I'm trying and all I'm getting is, you know, people are upset about this and don't know about that. And, you know, it's just, I was lost, you know, and I was literally just bullshit with Frank, but I'd already set my mind up that I was going to, when I talked to John, just give him DPS. I didn't think I was cut out for it. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it. I knew he would be able to do something with it. And so I was just going to be like, dude, you want the project, you can have it. That was where I was at. And then in talking to Frank and him, you know, revealing to me that him and Krista had gone through a lot of this same stuff, you know, which I never would have saw. I never would have expected. Again, being a founder, I didn't even recognize it in them that they had gone through it. But, you know, he had talked to me and related to me in a way that it completely changed my mind. Not only did it change my mind, but it actually gave me the tools, I guess it was a good word, that I needed to be able to deal with those situations better. You know, him and Krista both sat down for about an hour and talked to me and explained to me what they went through and how they got through it. And my eyes were just sort of opened up, where I was out, you know, on this island all alone, figuring I was sinking. You know, the whole island is sinking. I'm going to be lost at sea forever. Nobody knows where I'm at. You know, I thought that's how I felt that morning. And then they were like, dude, no, we've been there. You know, not only did we have the same thing happen where, you know, the crash happened after my mint and all the money we took in, half of it was gone right away. And yet I'm still obligated to all these prizes. You know, I'm a little panic about this and all these things. They went through the same thing. You know what I mean? They lost half the money on the mint with the ETH and all this stuff. And then, you know, I don't want to use the word attacks, but, you know, the constant need for all the community members' individual needs to be met was something I wasn't expecting. Collectively, I knew there were things I needed to do, but individually, I was shocked at the number of people that were in demand of my attention. You know what I mean? And it was pulling me in ways I couldn't even explain to you guys. And if it wasn't for Krista and Frank just relating to me and explaining to me what they've been through and how almost how this is normal and it's a process of building a project, I would have probably lost DPS back then, because I would have probably gave it to John and just, you know, I was at my wit's end, and it's a 180-degree turnaround for me since that conversation with them. I'm able to not only handle things much better, you know.
That's great.
Well, thanks for sharing that, man, because I do having like a conversation way back when, and I remember coming to you one time and saying how crazy transparent you were, how crazy you were at giving out the you know, the prizes that everyone got in matter of seconds and minutes. Like, you know, that doesn't happen in other communities that I've been a part of, you know. And so, you know, to hear you at that side, to know that, but it's like, from what we see on the outside looking in, man, we've never seen anything but transparency, never seen anything but honesty. You're just a top bloke, mate, and you know that. You know, I've said this to you a few times, and I'll say it all the time again too, man. But you know, like I said, thanks for sharing that, man, because it does touch us to know, you know, those type of things. But it's also like, that's definitely not what we see, man. We like definitely the ultimate fans and everyone that we have up on this stage, and, you know, everyone that's listening right now will see that if they come in anything to do with the DPS, to the Battle Bunnies, anything to do with Aaron Farve, man, he's always just going to be straight up, this is how it is. And he'll always facilitate us. And like, but yeah, shout out to you, bro, 100%. You know that, you know how we all feel, like, or how I feel, definitely. And I definitely think it's unanimous. And
Agree. Yeah.
I never know where the lag is going.
Well, what I appreciate is, like, I know you're a collector. Yeah, you're a collector, and like some of these things that have happened to like you and I and or you specifically, right? You know, like what you would have wanted in a certain situation,
Right.
and it didn't happen. And so I feel like every time I see an action from you within your own community and within the Battle Bunnies community, it's really because we had that lesson of someone that didn't give us what we wanted.
Right.
So you want to, like, as a collector and as someone that appreciates a project, you want to just like, here it is, man. I'm giving you what you need. And that part of it, like that's a lesson that a lot of people need to learn in Web3 and in life. You know, like, hey, if you've earned something, it's yours. Like, and here it is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to make you wait. I'm not going to make you fill out, like, yeah, sure, there's a couple of things that you might have to do, like fill out a Twitter thing, like, you know, let's grow the project. Like, that takes 2 seconds, right? It's not like a, you know, a massive ask.
Nah, man, and most people
every move, yeah,
the win, you know, that's all. So it's easy.
yeah, it's quick. You're gonna do it anyway, right? You're excited. Yeah, so I see that. So hats off to you. Hats off
Thank
to
you.
you for doing that, man. I appreciate it. That's like that's part of the reason. Like I've gone this this journey, maybe not side by side with you, but close enough that like I'm there. Like whatever you need from any of us, we're gonna be there. And
No, I know,
and as
man.
a founder, especially, like founders are gold, right?
Right.
Anywhere.
Yeah, much respect. Founders, you guys
Yeah, founders.
deal with a lot.
Unbelievable the
yeah.
amount of stuff Krista and Frank do. You guys all know. I don't have to tell you guys, and anybody watching probably knows too. But anybody not watching, I mean, they just moved and relocated their whole entire life. But if you're ever looking for anything that you didn't find in another project, I can promise you'll find it in the Battle Bunnies. It's the simplest way to put it. If you wanted more art, better art, it's here. If you wanted to be more involved, it's here. If you wanted to grow something, it's here. If you wanted to jump in when it's not too late, and fit in automatically, it's here. I mean, from day one, you can come in and be a part of this family. And that's the best thing, the best kept secret almost in Web3 and about this project. And it's unfortunate that's a secret, but it really is. It's a welcoming environment that from day one, you're not going to want to leave. And the more people that learn that and get to be a part of that, it's just going to keep growing this amazing thing that they've built, because it is like I said, it's a home, man. In this space, even after Battle Bunnies, for me, is DPS. For me, I mean, DPS is my baby. It's what I do, but Battle Bunnies is my home. DPS is like my master bedroom in that home. You know what I mean? It's the people, it's the respect, it's the camaraderie, it's the growing something, and it's like it's always, like BBS just said, anytime you need anything, it's always here. I mean, you guys doing this right now, I feel like you're doing this for the community just because you want to grow the community, you love it, and that's an example right there of what I'm talking about, right? Like how many projects do that, where community members just like want to share everything that's going on with everybody else because there's so much awesome going on, So I appreciate it, and I thank you guys for having me on and let me run my mouth for what looks like 2 hours now.
We love it. Thank you. No, that was great.
Yeah, no, this has been awesome. Well, on that, we will bid you adieu. But unless Luke has any closing things that you want to say, I'll wrap us up.
It's going to be weird going to DPS now because I'm going to Aaron's bedroom. So it's like going to his master bedroom.
Need those beats for the freestyling now too. Like,
yeah, man. We'll get it.
But I'll take Mondays for sure, bro. I'll jump up there and make
I'd like to try some freestyling. That'd be fun.
I just did.
Oh yeah. Dude, you know how we'll do it. We'll make it a contest. You know what I mean? We'll put some votes out, see who everybody likes, fan favorites, whatever we got to do. We'll make it fun. Was it like thematic? Could we do like a Battle Bunnies like freestyle like contest where we have people from the community? Because we're always thinking about the community. Like, how can we get fans to do something fun? Yeah.
Well,
think of it like a talent show, So yeah, everybody from the community has got some kind of talent, whether it be just like I said, poetry, spoken word, or freestyling, or writing a song, or playing an instrument. You know what I mean? It's whatever that fits into that little realm. Bring it on, man, because it's so much fun. It's usually, like I said, I mean, Mia used to come in there. We used to get over 100, 150 people in these spaces. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was almost like being at a show. You just couldn't see the artist. You could only hear them. But some of the people were just so talented. And then, believe it or not, we used to get this one girl, and I can't remember her name. I hate it because she was so awesome. But she was an actual professional opera singer. And she would come in there, and I'm not an opera fan, right? But we would shut down all the music, everybody would get quiet, and she would perform like a operatic song, whatever they're called or whatever, dude. It would like move you emotionally. It was so amazing. Her voice was so amazing, and she was a pro, like pro opera singer. So yeah, man, I'm gonna try it out and see if we can do it. It's fun, dude. So.
Yeah, I love what you guys did with the hype video. That I think our man BBS, you won that, right? Like you created that hype video.
I took some time to put that in, but what really the magic behind that was having a reason to connect with like everybody that I know. So I'm connecting with people that are not even in this space anymore. Like they gave up, they left, they're not even here anymore, and they're like, "What do you mean to do? I'll join, and then I'll stop. I'll quit out of it." I'm like, "No, don't quit out of it. You gotta stay."
Right.
stay and read about it, learn. But like I had everybody, like if you looked at that list of who came in and voted, they're people that are from the past, and they're just like, it's a great networking like opportunity to like go through all that, and it's really like it's helpful because I think I've brought a few people back in. Like there's one person, Cora, she was like, yeah, here's, sorry I haven't been around for so long, but here's what I've been up to, and she was very artistic and did a lot of like gifts and memes and really brought a lot of energy into Discord, and like just disappeared. So hopefully, that person comes back.
Yeah.
A lot of Beatheads friends. I know we don't say other projects, but we can, because we're, it doesn't matter, right? So we invite everybody
Spread the
in,
love.
and
Yeah.
spread the love. And so so I won the video. I was excited about it. There was a little bit of crazy, shenanigans happening with some of the votes, I think.
Yeah.
Lord Gallivan had you with his parents. Yeah, like you were. I bet that was back and forth.
Not with Lord Gallivan. There was another video that was getting like spontaneous votes, like overnight, like hundreds of people were voting, and it's just like odd. But anyways, that was cleared up. Yeah, it's gonna happen, right? With bots or whatever. I had a lot of fun.
Entourage.
With
people have an entourage. They bring in their entourage, like, and say, "Vote for me," and I'll win $100. So
we had a funny thing that happened with, and it might have been like not a bot, but someone from a different country. Like sometimes they use these translation apps, and it doesn't really translate to the current moment. So I think someone had asked like, "Hey, so what NFT projects are you in?" And they responded with, "Yes, happy new month," because it was like the next day it was going to be like a new month, and it just blew up, and it became like the funniest thing of the moment. And now there's like trickles of it that's kind of funny, and it's kind of like watching like a series, like a pretty cool series. It's funny, like you get that joke that's in the first episode, and then you don't know like why that's funny to everybody like later on in the other episodes. But it like Hoppy, and then it turned into Hoppy New Month, right? Because we have to change it to the bunnies. But yeah, so much fun. Yeah, so much fun with that.
Yeah, very cool.
So anyway, I won the contest, and then I thought like, hey, I won this contest because the community came in and voted, and so I thought, wouldn't it be honorable to kind of just throw it back out into the community? We'll get a game out of it maybe. Aaron was nice enough to say, yeah, we'll absolutely do that. We'll throw it back into the game. We'll get the community involved. It's another community event that everybody can get together. It's not like on the schedule, a game that's on the schedule, but there's a real reward if you win. And and for third place I threw in a pass. So it worked out great. And everybody had fun, and we just gave it back. So that's what it's all about, right? You win stuff, right? And then you give it back to the community, because it's just going to spread more growth with everybody. Like, hey, we got this tournament coming up, and it's awesome. Love it.
Very cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Aaron doesn't even know about this, but we have a Binky Awards that we're going to do later on this year for the fans, where we want to just award our community members. We're going to let the fans vote for their favorite fans of the Battle Bunnies. So you could potentially win an award, Aaron, as a community member for, I don't know what the awards are yet. We still have to come up with that so we can create the voting, but that's going to be our annual event that we want to do, and like pull people in outside the project, something that people could share to, like, hey, come see me in the Binky Awards. I'm up for this award.
Okay.
Or vote for me, because I'm up for this award, like that kind of thing. So fan awards, I think, is a great way to kind of bring people in, kind of like your hype video. That's what made me think of it.
Right. No,
so
I love
we're
that.
always looking for ways to bring people into our community, because we love the Battle Bunnies. We love you, and all the stuff that you do as a Battle Bunny community member. And we just, want to see more people like you come into the project and love it as much as we do. So that's what we're always thinking about here.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of fun. Always something going on. Always a lot of, good people around. Best project.
Yeah. Very good. DPS definitely up there, except I don't play poker. So, or not, I don't play well. So I haven't played with you guys yet, but once I get into it, I'm going to get serious.
Yeah, man. Look, we got a Lord Galaban. He hasn't done them in a while, but he does classes, so you can actually take classes. You know, if you're a holder, you can get better for free. You know?
Nice. Yeah.
He helped Frank. You know how Frank's like really good now and can almost get to the final table like anytime he wants. Basically, he used to play a lot more timid, and then Lord Galaban got a hold of him and was like, you know, this is why you should do this at this point. And from then on, Frank's just been a monster. You know, it's like he's a lot better than he was in the beginning. You know.
Yeah, I would just be a catastrophic failure. So it would just be like, all right, Brian's out. Next.
With me, it's mindset. If I have the night and it's free, like I don't have to worry about anything, then I play better. So it's like for me, it has to be a mindset. But if I have to, like, if I'm doing something, like if I'm cleaning or whatever, or doing some, you know, other stuff like graphics or whatever, then I'm usually out pretty quick because I have the focus for it.
That's funny. That's the opposite for me. Whenever I'm busy doing something, I play better. It's when I'm sitting there.
That's good. I wish I would.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had to say all of them.
Luke's been playing sloppy, so when he gets there at Richmond,
I know
he's going to take you all. Yeah, he's been setting you up. Is what I heard. What I heard on the space last Saturday is that he's been playing sloppy, and now he's coming to cash in.
Are you other guys going? You and BBS going, Brian, to Richmond?
Yeah, I won't be going. But the other three, hopefully.
Okay. It's still up in the air for me. I definitely want to go. So yeah, the plan is to go, but I may have some other things that could take me away. So I'm still trying to get there, but I have not booked anything yet. Which, you know, I got 3.5 weeks, so I need to make a decision quickly. But but yeah, I definitely want to see everybody in real life.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. The TCG.
Plus, we want to do some live recording. We want to do some live recording, get some people interviews there on site and stuff.
That'd be really cool.
I could definitely see some really good opportunity to, you know, kind of talk. I've got the mobile recording equipment and cameras and all that stuff, so we could have some fun with it, and we can bring Phil into it, and you know, still kind of produce a show on, you know, at the hotel or the convention center or wherever it's at. So there'd be, you know, it'd be fun.
No, they're looking forward to that too. So if you can make it, that'd be really great, because I know a lot of people are like looking forward to something streaming in the Discord from time to time. You know, all the shenanigans.
Yeah. We know Lord L would be able to cover us, you know, on his own, but I want to be there too, just you know, so I can enjoy the shenanigans too.
Lord L's gonna be at that final table. Man,
he needs somebody to hold the camera. I need to record him, like, well,
right over his card.
Loud. Yeah, right over his shoulder, and then, you know, like, stream it so everybody can see
everybody's on the Discord. You know,
with like a headband on. The Lord L, I can give you if you want to wear a GoPro and just walk around filming.
Yeah,
you just wear it on your head.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I got one of those too. You want to go live?
Yeah, exactly. Just strap that on and walk around and talk to everybody. That's all you need to do.
Ship it to the hotel, Brian, and I'll ship it before I leave.
Yeah, no, I have the chest strap too. Like, if you wanted to wear it down at your chest,
right.
You know, and wear it like that. Get like the different POV, but the headband is really, you know, like I saw some guy at VFriends or VCon. He was wearing one, like he was walking around the thing and he had like the headband on the whole time and stuff like that. It was just,
it's so funny when people do that, but it's cool videos you get from it, you know?
Yeah. And Gary pulled him up on stage. Gary pulled him up on the stage, and there was like thousands of people there, maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people. And this guy with his headband thing on, you know, imagine that, going back and looking at that camera view of seeing all those people getting pulled up on the stage. And I guess he was a big introvert or something too before he got into Gary's community. So, but now he's wearing a GoPro and standing on stage.
Over thousands of people. That's awesome.
Yeah. And all because he got into an NFT project and had this special. He minted something special with his thing in Gary's VFriends, the first edition. And now it gives him access, I think, to every single conference and stuff. So now he's trying to document all that. Is what the backstory on that guy with the camera.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah. a free ticket to everything Gary's doing live is a pretty good, utility for
Yeah.
not financial advice, obviously, but that would be pretty cool to get. We always say that's our inside joke is we're always trying to CYA because there's that gray area, right, with NFTs and whether it's an investment or a collectible and that kind of stuff. So you'll hear Luke or BBS or I say, "Oh, not financial advice," or that kind of stuff.
Financial advice.
We sometimes say it when we don't even need to, but it's like we just want everybody to know we're not trying to influence you into getting an NFT because of the utility. But some of these utilities are really cool to have.
I know, right? So, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There is some financial advice for you right here. We'll close it with this, right? Spend your money how you want to. There's your financial advice.
Yeah, exactly.
I can give that,
and
right?
win really cool stuff. Like just
Oh yeah, hey, I never saw that. Did you break it out yet?
I haven't broken it out yet. No, because I would
have that programmed already.
I had because I have creative stuff, and then Brian got in my head and said that I could use it for the rabbit hole, and so now I'm thinking like, oh man, now I can trick it out to like commands.
I don't know if you can see this. Can y'all see this? Hold on. Wait, my camera just went off. Oh wait, are you there? All right.
You blacked out, yeah.
Yeah, I blacked out. Hold on. There. It won't show it. There. Can you see that? Okay, there. Can you see it now?
Okay. Yeah, you got the mouse.
Yeah. So it's the same thing. I do that exact same thing with the rabbit hole with all these little buttons, and you can just put hop and roll and all that stuff, and then you just go through the rabbit hole clicking buttons instead of typing. So much easier. Yeah.
That's awesome. Did you put in % bunny and %, what's the other one that you use occasionally? Oh, hop count?
No, I didn't put in those. I tried to put in stuff like I would do I think the one BBS has is maybe better. Mine's very limited on the characters, but I started trying to use it for in Twitter when I do hashtag this and that. I would start to do it, but it goes through like half of it and it stops. So it's pointless, So it's good for the short words, like hop and roll and like you said, bunny or whatever. But it doesn't. Frank somehow uses it for drawing. The one that BBS has, he uses that to control his left hand while he's drawing with his right hand or something. He said, I have no idea how, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it for actions and quick steps. So I'll be twice as fast now with it. I'm excited about that.
Well, dude, it's awesome to see that because one of the things that I'm so humbled and gracious to all you guys in the communities for all the awesome things that everybody does and the fact that I can even have this project because you guys. But one of the sadder parts for me is like all the IRL events and stuff and all the prizes I set up for that. Let's get out of the house and go to a concert or a movie or a comedy club, and nobody wanted to go do that. They just wanted the cash. To see you actually tell me, no, man, I want the gift. Send me the gift. I was so excited, dude. I was like, yes, somebody actually wants the gift, not the money. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I got an ice cream maker too, but it's not on. I want to go get it, and it's like on back order for like weeks. So when I get that, I'll show that too. But like this stuff, like these coasters from AJ, and I had a custom one that he did too. I got that off the wheel too, like when we were doing wheels. Like this stuff's awesome.
Yeah. You see this one? It's not showing up because my screen, huh?
Frank is. Is that the collab?
No, that's AJ made this. It's just our logo that Jad made. I don't know if you can see it. It's not showing up on my screen. Oh well.
Logo, yeah.
But yeah, it's just a logo that Jad made, and then AJ put it on a coaster for me. AJ actually sent that to me without me even asking. It was like great advertisement, right? He just sent me a coaster for free, and then all of a sudden I bought 10 sets from him. So good thinking on AJ's part.
That's good advertising.
Yeah. He's really good at his.
I opened the mail one day and there it was. I was like, dude, this is awesome. How do I get more of these? And then the next thing you know, we're doing them in giveaways and we're putting them up as prizes. And they're really nice.
Yeah, he's talented.
Well played.
I wish Lord L could see. Do you see you frozen like we see you frozen? Because you have these looks you put and then you freeze.
You're moving now.
There you go. Now you're moving. A minute ago, your eyeballs were like moving, but your face was perfectly still.
Oh, man.
We have a lot of fun here.
What a flaw.
This must mean something. What y'all just do? Everybody did that.
I'm gonna plug into the Ethernet actual cable next time. All right, I'm not having this again. This is the first time. It has to be staged when Aaron's on stage too. I get the fright, and then everything all mucks up, and I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands? Where do I put them?
It could be just a program, you know. It's probably a lot of drawer on the computer.
Yeah. We definitely need to have you back. Speaking of drawing, we need to have you back and do a tutorial on or just a sneak peek of like how you create that Frank and Krista thing in Midjourney. I think the fans would love to see you actually share your screen and just maybe show some of your juice where you put that in and like boop, there comes Frank and Krista.
Yeah, man.
That would be fun.
If we didn't take up so much time already today, I would show y'all now. But yeah, just have me back and I'll be prepared.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I would love to show you guys that stuff. I got to make sure Frank and Krista be cool with it. I mean, I think they would be, because but I got to make sure.
Yeah, for sure. Or we could do, one of us, like if you wanted to like recreate BBS or Luke or me, onto, some muscle bound like thing, like the Frank thing. That would be cool too. Just to, to see your art. Yeah, you already got the gun show, both of you guys.
Was that Luke's? Hey, can y'all see this? Is my new BPS shirt?
Yeah. Oh, you got BPS represent.
I got a brand new one. This is from that site that where everybody's ordering it now. So I got one to test it out, man. And I tell you, I love it. The quality and stuff. If you got, obviously shameless self-promotion, but order some merch.
Yeah, we saw John's sweatshirt the other night. It looked great.
Yeah.
John was on and he had a sweatshirt on from DPS. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Did he show you all the back with the guy and the swirl and all that?
He couldn't for his camera angle, he couldn't get it to swivel around without ripping out his headphones or something.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
But we saw a glimpse of it. We just couldn't see the full picture on the back.
Yeah, he designed
it. It looked good though.
Yeah, it looked really good. Yeah, he put his Joker in the middle of some kind of colorful vortex. It looked really cool, like he was stepping out of it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Was it the guitar playing Joker?
No, I think it's just one of his that he minted. It was just, I think the guy was just standing there. Lord Galaban's one I thought was really popular, the one with the gun. Later on, like people were like, "Oh, maybe your Joker shouldn't have a gun," and da. Like, "Oh, I never thought of it like that." But good. It was awesome because he went to Rare Evo with it, and we made it like a concert T-shirt. I don't know if you caught that video for his hype video. That's what it was, but he got interviewed there with that, and then they went over all our prizes and everything right there at that convention. Dude, that was awesome. So
yeah, that was cool. You guys have done some great marketing, and sorry I missed out on that. I just had way too much going on that week.
No worries.
I'll get in on the next hype video. I'll see if I can create something as good as BBS.
Oh
yeah, all of them were awesome, man. I was really happy about all of them. I mean, Disco's was obviously hilarious. Doug with Bill was just, I mean, gosh, that was so cute, dude. The little dog.
Yeah.
BBS's obviously was awesome. And then of course Chaka's I use on the website now, just because the introduction there and the way it goes through our stuff. Like I just got it on a loop on the website. And actually Lord Galaban runs that loop in the background when he's streaming our poker games. So kind of it's crazy how just that one person in the ticket going, "Hey, I want to make you a video for $100." And I was like, you know what? So I put a post out like, "Look, man, I don't want to pay this guy $100, but I'll pay you guys $100." And boom, next thing you know, we got all this great stuff. It was a great turnout, man. I was stoked.
Yeah, it was a good call on that.
Cool. Well, I know we keep trying to end this, so we're gonna have to end this.
You're the cop, because I wasn't gonna do it.
Because it's 12 a.m. and I have to catch a flight, or I have to leave for the airport in 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I haven't packed yet.
Okay, go do your business. Fair warning for next time when you call me on. Make sure you set aside 4 hours.
Yeah, yes. This will definitely have this might be our first like triple episode.
Oh shit, my bad, you guys. I hope I didn't keep you off from too much.
No, it's all been
good.
great. Yeah, no, this has been great stuff. Like that's what I think. I mean, the community is gonna love to listen to this. You know, I know I would. So yeah, no, don't apologize. Like we had a great time, and at just some point we just have to say, okay, it's midnight.
Cut it off. Shut him off. No, I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all so much, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Well, thanks, Aaron. And we will see you in the Discord and DPS and all over the place. So we look forward to it.
I'm always around.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Whew. Man, that was.
I think that went to.
That was gold.
Right?
When's he coming back on?
Yeah. Can we get him back on? Like,
Can we get him back
let's
on
run
now?
it back. Yeah, let's run it back. Well, great, man. We'll definitely have to have Aaron back on.
For sure.
You know, like it's just. I don't have much more to say. We've been on for 2.5 hours.
I was trying to think of like good questions. Like I wanted a good Frank story, and I think we got it. And I'm excited about the next time when we can. And that was great to have that ask of, you know, can we go through that process? Because that's going to be hilarious. I think just a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Well, for all the fans out there that watch this, whether this was 1 episode or 3 episodes or 2 episodes, however it ended up being, I hope you got a whole bunch out of it, because Aaron is, you know, definitely an ultimate fan. He is a huge supporter of the bunnies. Does so much in and around the bunnies. Like there's just nothing that we can't say. You know, just he's so great for this in our community, and and then, you know, the stuff that he does with DPS and his own community as a founder, and just all the stuff he shared. Hopefully you got as much out of it as I did. I mean, there was just so much gold. So I just really enjoyed our evening with him. Morning for Luke. so yeah, that was a good one, guys. And we hope you ultimate fans and, you know, new fans of the show, you enjoyed it just as much as we did.
Yeah, and definitely hit him up on the Discord, you know, or if you see him, you know, you can be new, or you could be, you know, someone that's known him for a long time.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
We're gonna have a lot of B-roll.
It started.
We're gonna have so much B-roll. Like, I do not want to edit this one.
You don't need anything from anybody else. This is the best one.
Yeah, we're done. We got enough material for like a trailer and all kinds of stuff. So thank you for joining us today, Ultimate Fan. BBS, Lord L, and Brian, that's me, do hope you enjoyed today's program as much as we did, where ultimate fans like you are the stars of the show. We'd be honored to have you join us on a future episode where you can share your story and love of the Battle Bunnies with this encouraging community. It would be the greatest compliment if you shared something you love about the Battle Bunnies on your favorite social platform today, like X, Facebook, or Instagram, and tagged us. Or simply use hashtag #UltimateFancast so we can recognize and celebrate with you and other super fans by sharing your post. Bonus points if you do both and use an image of one of your favorite Battle Bunnies or a screenshot of this episode. We know you share, like, and comment because you care about our fellow Ultimate fans as much as we do. Please leave comments too to let us know how we can make this the greatest fan experience for the Battle Bunnies community. This podcast is sponsored by Hairstream Media, your bunnies all the time streaming service. Okay, not really. It is just us fans like you giving some of our time to support other fans like you. Join us over in the Battle Bunnies community and Discord to continue the fun. We hope you tune in with us each week. So make it easy. Subscribe now. We'll be here to keep you hopping when you need us.